last year, this year, I suppose, still.
Yeah.
But at the end of Black Ops 3, when you saw them struggle so badly in Search and Destroy, that was the comments you heard from a lot of pro players and commentators and analysis is just like, why aren't they playing a little bit faster? Why aren't they going at them? You have four of the most talented players in the game.
4 hit till they stop you.
Yeah, you don't need to play slow. Get in their face, win those gunfights. But we are now into the rig draft. Do we have a mirror matchup here? No, so it's still going to be FTL Jump coming in for Cade.
And we were talking a little bit earlier, especially on the desk, of we haven't really seen FTL Jump used to the full potential. And I think Cade did a good job of it on that Scorch, especially up towards that top hangar. You can put yourself in an unfavorable situation and just sort of make a weird timing for the opponents. He was able to bait himself and buy so much time at hangar in order for the break to come.
I wasn't exactly sure what happened. I mean, that's what it looked like. And then you could tell from Karma's POV that he was sort of like, what? He didn't even turn. He was like, all right, he's gone. And then he ends up getting shot in the back as they do get that key break inside of hangar. But it is going to be throwback Search and Destroy coming up next. Optic Gaming looking to bounce back. E6 looking to continue here. They have 4-0 map count against Optic Gaming right now at this event.
Wow, 4-0 and not really close either. I'm interested to see if Formal is going to be comfortable enough to pull out a sniper maybe on throwback, but I want to see them just group up, get to the bomb site, and really play straight up and fast and confident.
And yeah, Optic needs the fans to get behind them. I mean, they were quiet for the most part of that game one, but there wasn't a whole lot to cheer for, right? When you're down 100 points throughout the course of most of the game. First blood, though, immediately. Ruiz taking out Karma. They've got the early edge. Optic down a man.
Great stuff from them. Ruiz getting a little bit aggressive up towards middle, and bomb instantly planted. They have the numbers and have the objective down as well. Optic on the retake. Crim catches the timing onto General up towards that bridge. Does he get traded there? No. Buying enough time. Scump picks up a second, so now the favor in Optic Gaming's favor. Trades going down. Can they find that last player?
Dipping and diving, trying to stay alive as Proto. He's getting pushed from the right. He's down. And now the fans something to cheer about a bit here. And it should be Scump grabbing this one as he started out 2-0. And he was kind of the catalyst in the last series as well. They were down, I think it was 3-1 to elevate. And Scump pulls off a 1v3. Not only does he end up getting, I believe, reactive armor out of that, but he gets streaks to go with it. It was a huge play and momentum changer in the last series. They need him to get going for sure.
Huge play from Crim, able to answer back, make it the even out, and didn't over-challenge. He bought just enough time to create that opening for Scump to get up towards middle, Formal to follow up as well. So Crim opened the door for Optic there.
Well, we'll kick things off with Scump as he is 2-0, about almost a third of the way to that reactive armor. He does have one of the close Karma. It's going to be Crim6 this time with the first blood. Let's see. I'm going to keep with Scump for now just because he's got the bomb. And you know how this is where I feel like this is like the most important fight that goes down here around this bottom bridge. Who's able to get this first pick as they try to work towards the plant. But he's going to soar out. There's one close range, able to find it. And that's the OSA at its best. Scump continues the streak. But now let's go over to the side of E6 as they're going to be in the 2v3. It'll be General and Cade trying to work against the entire green wall. They might be able to find a kill there at top bus. Not able to do so. Nade checking down at bomb. No hit markers coming in. And you still have 30 seconds to work with, but you don't have a whole lot of a chance here unless you start going.
Yeah, it should be an easy round. Looks like the flank is going to be coming in from Karma in just a second. Formal pinches him out, and Karma gets the last. A great round from Optic Gaming once again. Crim opens up the door with the first blood. Scump wins that crucial gunfight onto the bomb site, and then it's just easy cruising from then on. You drop the bomb, and you have numbers. Great stuff from Optic.
How odd is this compared to like end of last year? You have Optic Gaming dropping hard points and Optic Gaming winning S&Ds. That's what got them through the last series.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can continue to do it here. It is going to be back to offense for E6. Let's go on with Ruiz here. He had the first blood in the first round on their attack, and he actually has the only kill as well for E6, and he's looking to get aggressive. You see on X-Ray, there's one playing back lemon here, waiting patiently for the push. Formal has dropped, but Scump's gotten to a position here where he may be able to wreak a little bit of havoc, unless it looks like they're turning. I think they're prepared for it.
Yeah, might need his teammates to cause a little bit of attack.
Oh, God, he is on down. That OSA.
Absolutely snaps on that player. The headshot going down. Needs to win the second, but can't do it.
So Scump falls. You get the round on the board for E6. A little bit, at least finally coming alive for him to get a round here. Ruiz, we started off with him, and he will get the final kill. All right, so let's get into round 4. Optic Gaming's turn to attack. What do you want to watch this time around, Steve?
Let's hop on board with Karma, I think. He had a good flank going on that last offense for Optic Gaming. Hit the timing just perfectly to pinch those last two players in the back, doing Nice little wall run to see if he can gain any sort of information on this middle push. Doesn't spot anything yet, but looks like some call-outs coming in for him. Does he catch that player on his vision? Yes, he is able to pick up 2 in the back. Nice positioning there from Karma. General going to be the last one alive and take it out instantly. Another great round from Optic Gaming. Decisive stuff. He got the call out from his teammate at the top window, I believe, or over towards sidewalk. Hit that underpass, catches those 2 players. Easy peasy round.
Big stuff from Karma. Now, we were just handed, during the middle of that round, kind of some statistics from the Optic Gaming side, just with regard to their KDs for S&D, respawns, or anything that stands out for you over the course of this weekend that may attest to some of their struggles.
Scump has under a 1.
In
Respawn.
basically both. I mean, 0.98 in respawn, a 1 on the dot in S&D. So yeah,
what's the last? Has that happened ever? I don't think so.
He's usually top 3 KD, basically every single event. So let's see if he can step it up here over the course of Sunday. Cade trying to find an opening with the E6 side. They're trailing now by 2 rounds. The bomb has been planted, and Proto able to find a Ruiz as well. It's now on Karma and Formal. They're both stacked up on limit.
Sort of a mimic of the round we saw earlier. E6 was in the same sort of position. I don't think Optic's going to be able to make any magic happen.
It's identical, right?
I was surprised that Proto was able to win that gunfight onto Scump, but Karma opens up with 1.
He makes a play. He has rewind to go as well, but they only have 20 seconds. Formal finds it. All of a sudden it's 2v2. They know there's one on bomb site. They've got to push this out and try to make a play. They have him pinned in the corner. He's got 16 bullets left, able to win the gunfight. Now it's going to be a 1v1. Karma can't win it. E6 gets their second round, but that was a whole hell of a lot closer than maybe it should have been.
Made it very close. They are opened up with 2 picks. E6 needs to be a little bit more careful. Fortunately, General got the better end of Karma on that one. He was a little bit weak from the previous gunfight, but whew, a little scary.
Yeah, you saw General with a lot of clutch 2 pieces in the hard point. He certainly goes large here as well in S&D. Now Karma does have his rewind to work with. We've seen most of our pressure towards the B site. He did just see one up over the top, so that call out should have then came into Crim6 as he's looking out window that there may be some pressure, but it's going to go right back to Karma. He should be able to catch one here, but no, not able to do so as one sneaks away. Cade's playing with the sniper in the back, hasn't found one yet. Down for either side. Let's go over to Proto, because Proto's looking to get up close and personal here with this OSA.
In a pretty good spot here, can watch this underpass, trying to see if he can hear any people doing a wall run, but looks like Optic's deciding to execute a strategy. Going to try and see if they can pinch around this middle. Gunfight going down. Proto barely escapes with his life. Looks like Optic Gaming going to try and wrap around towards his B site.
But this could be huge for Formal then, because he is actually, I don't know if they realized one still sat over here the entire time, but Karma should have a gunfight in a second. Karma rewinds, gets out, ends up right behind him. Oh, God, it's not pretty, but he gets it. And then Formal was on the flank. There's only 1 player left. Let's go to Proto's POV. He's going to be waiting here inside a barn, gets pushed from behind, and that's the 4th for Optic Gaming.
What a great strategy. Formal executes that late A flank, just waits for his teammates to make some magic happen over towards middle and that B side, and then Karma, a little bit scared for a second. He wasn't going to get that kill after the rewind. Almost got turned and burned a bit, but finishes out regardless.
We've seen that a lot. I think rewind, you're just like, where am I going to pop up?
Right.
And it's a little bit difficult to get gun up at times. But Ruiz now 6 and 5 has camo to work with here. 2 more rounds needed for Optic Gaming, and this looks to be our first A pressure that we've seen over the course of this matchup. And this is actually perfect for Optic, because this camo is not going to do much of anything.
Exactly, and then Rewind was burning that previous round as well from Proto, so Optic Gaming pretty happy with these payloads. Not going to pay off at all. Karma opens up with another first blood. 10 kills for the man already. Crim's opened up with the second. Formal with the third. Last player alive very quickly as Proto might be able to catch some timing. I think he saw that shadow. Kill should be coming up soon. There's the first in a 1v3 now. Can he get the second? Wins it. Buying time.
There's the third. Maybe the 1v4, but no. Scump shuts it down. My God, there would have been a panic attack here in the venue. You heard a collective gasp come from the crowd as Proto almost goes nuts. But Scump clutches up. You saw Forward.
I like that.
Forward was giggling. He's like, oh, we almost let that one slip.
I like that little camera shot. They're like, no. Got to be better than that.
And those with it, yes, it was a 4-2 advantage, but with it being that close, that's one that hurts you, man. That could have changed the entire game too, because you know Optic just tilts completely if he clutches that 1v4, and that would have been one of the more insane 1v4s we've seen.
Man, that was close.
So we saw. Let me see. He's close to getting reactive. How far is Crim's got a little ways to go to a camo. Not only does Optic get that round, but remember, camo used by the side of E6, and that usually is leading to 1 or 2 kills in Search and Destroy right now.
Really not a fan of that blind camo usage. We harped on it a lot in Black Ops 3 and still not a fan of it here.
Especially when teams rarely play A defense.
Right, yeah, right.
Maybe there's one over there?
Yeah, risk for no reward basically. Seems like a pretty normal strategy from Optic Gaming here, going back to their bread and butter as they're trying to close out this one. All they need is one more round to even out this series at 1 apiece, but Karma not finding anyone in the spawn and hitting this flank.
This is what we saw Rise do a lot with Vicento. He would basically play on this side by himself. They stack B, they think it's a 4-MB hit, and then he flanks from behind. Gets one, but it's going to be just him and Formal. Can't clean up the kill there, so it is still going to be a 2v3. Karma now by himself actually trying to clutch here in round 8. He's able to find one. Rewind pops up again, but he ends up falling. He got rewind back quickly. He just used that, was it 2 rounds ago? 3 rounds ago?
Yeah, I think so, but that's what happens, I guess, when you get 11 kills or maybe even 12 now. I'm not sure what he's at exactly, but a great game from Karma. He keeps hitting that timing, getting that information, spotting all 4 players before he makes that decision to make that late flank happen. So heads up play from him. E6 all over it, though, and pick up those kills at middle.
Yeah, he's got 12 kills. So what do we have now? You do have Overdrive, the rewind. Proto getting pretty close to, I believe, his first rewind. So you can see
not his second.
You can see what a difference. Oh, okay, because he has all the bomb plants. Yeah. That makes sense. So he's going to get it here. Oh yeah, he used it outside, right, at field. Yeah, able to get away from Karma. First blood going to E6. Who's coming in behind? It looks like Cade has a really good chance to make a play, or the time is going to be horrendous. It doesn't work out for him. It's 3 versus 3 now. Hopping over to General, has been tagged up at the back bus, trying to get shots in, not able to find the kill. I'm going to go over to Formal, because Formal's found one. He ends up dropping almost immediately. You do have Karma here. He does have rewind to go. It's now all on Ruiz to try and clutch up. Has to find 2 players. He just saw one above and one mid. There's where both players are. He might have the opportunity to do it, but he's getting tagged up. Has to get away. There's one more left. Can he get to the edge? Able to do so. 9 seconds left, and he's done it.
Wow, what a clutch. He got so weak from that first player, but just edges around that corner towards that bridge, buys just enough time, escapes the death. That was imminent.
That was sick. I mean, it worked out. That timing was almost perfect when he kind of jumped past the train, and you saw the shadow of the player going up top. It just worked out brilliantly. He gets cut down there or on the cross back. In Optic, likely enough time to get the defuse, but that will not be the case. Let's see. So same situation for Scump. If he gets a plant there, he'll have reactive. I mean, this would be the round you think they'd be wanting to, well, of course, wanting to close it up, but be able to close it out here, especially if Scump is able to get this bomb down. Because as soon as he gets a plant, he's going to have reactive. I'm curious how he's going to end up playing this. He gets it. Does he play it safe, or is he going to push? Looks like he's just backing up for now. And the first blood does come in for Optic Gaming. They've got control. Ruiz will be the one to drop. Scump finds one, pops the kinetic, finds 2 assists. It's Karma that cleans it up, and now it is all on General. But you got to find 4. He's gone. Optic Gaming back in the series, tying it up at 1-1.
Optic really needed that map. They clutched it up, and I feel like that was largely due to the payload advantage that Optic was able to net over the entirety of that game. E6 did not use those abilities well at all, wasted them a couple of times, and it really punishes you. Scump able to get that reactive armor, pops it. Didn't really need to in that situation, but hey, end
works
the game,
out
easy.
That was kind of my point. Yeah, as soon as I saw how close he was, you don't have to start with the round with it, but as soon as you got the plant, you think it's over. Because even I think if Krim would have got 1 kill, he may have had camo to work with as well. They had almost every single thing to work with. But let's take a look at some of the great plays from Karma over the course of that
15.
one. As he had a monster game. It was 15 and 6. Karma, 2 rings, going clutch. What makes him such a special player, man? I know you played with him a lot. You played against him at times. What is it about him that makes him such a treat to watch?
His gameplay is so... I can't find another word but just weird. He creates these awkward timings, and most of his gunfights just seem like a weird situation, but somehow most of the time he's able to come out on top. Great stuff from him, and I can't really remember the last performance where he really put the team on his back, especially in a search and destroy. 15 kills, though, able to hit those timings perfectly, and just his overall knowledge of the game
think
is...
back, all right, think
better than everyone, really.
When he first joined this Optic Gaming lineup, when Nade left and he joined during AW, he was having horrendous search and destroy games. Remember there was a while there where it seemed like it was lucky if he would find 1 to 2 kills. He didn't feel comfortable with the team. He wasn't sure to figure out. He ended up actually pulling out the sniper towards the end of AW, and that's when he started really getting a rhythm. But he's terrifying when he, I guess, just can do what he wants, roam around a bit. I remember talking to Krim. He sort of said something similar to you. This was back in, God, I think Ghost. But I asked him the same thing, like, what makes him such a special player? He's like, yeah, just the way his brain works. Like, you'll see him in a 1v1, And, like, he won't do the play you expect at all.
Right.
He'll find some corner and, like, tuck away, and it's like, what is he doing? But then next thing you know, the player runs right in front of him. It's like, oh, all right, okay.
And
do what you want, Karma.
Especially with this movement, he uses it in odd situations sometimes, but hey, it works out, right?
Well, I thought back in AW as well, once the the new movement mechanics sort of became a thing, that when it came to, like, aerial combat and actually finding people in the air, I think he's been one of the best. Who kind of comes to mind? These guys that are just able to. Because I know for me when I play, yes, I'm old, but I when those fights happen in the sky, I lose people, and he seems to be able to snap. You saw him getting it done with the rewind in that one. And Optic Gaming now back in it. So this, I believe, we're going to Frost. So yesterday, you heard the analysis desk talk about it a bit. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a blowout exactly, but it was a very controlled game by E6. You never felt that Optic really had a big chance. Do you think that kind of helps them now seeing some of the strategies that were implemented by E6? Do you feel maybe a little bit better about Optic here?
Like Joe said on the desk, it's very tough to beat a team twice, and especially going back to the same map, the same uplink they played previous. So I'm pretty sure Optic Gaming is going to realize what they need to do a little bit differently. But, you can change things up all you want. Are they going to stop General this time? I think he had 37 the last time they played this one, just absolutely destroying with that OSA. I feel like Scump and, Karma as well. Maybe pull out 2 OSAs for these close quarter combats over towards Ice Tunnel, over towards the back helipad. Really, I don't know. You
can run as many as you want here, really. Yeah. I think we saw 3 OSAs and 1 K-bar a couple times yesterday from different teams. I would, but again, you saw that on Scorch to some degree, and they got stomped in the slaying department. I mean, it was Proto in general getting the edge big time over, what you saw coming out of Scump and Crim. So they've got to turn it around here, because Optic's not winning respawns unless they're winning the slaying battle. I mean, yes, every once in a while it'll happen. I think once on Friday they managed to do that, but typically it's not going to work out. But for those of you guys watching on MLG.TV, currently we hope you're enjoying some of the new features of EVE. I know it's been I can think ever since I've been involved in Call of Duty, people want to watch individual player feeds, see how they play. I think it's incredible, especially if you're an aspiring amateur or if you're just trying to learn the game a little bit better. I know we're hopping between everyone trying to make sense of this madness, but being able to watch one player perspective, I think is pretty fantastic.
Oh, absolutely cool to be able to, that's something that people have been asking for a long time. So the fact that you can pick on that individual player. You want to watch Scump? You can learn how Scump plays. You learn how the entire Optic Gaming team plays, or E6 as well. Especially, you should probably watch E6 and Hardpoint. They look unbelievable. Yeah, and you have the chance to use Score Streak there in the chat. You can make predictions. I believe there's prizes that go with that on game battles. It's pretty awesome stuff. Very cool. Some of the added features here to EVE. So I hope you guys are enjoying them. But now looks like players starting to get hopped into the rig draft. So we'll show that shortly. But this is going to be one hell of a series, man. I mean, Optic's gotten a map. They weren't able to do that in the first time through, obviously. So now you just got to feel like this is going the distance. But I need a prediction from you. What are you thinking on the uplink? I think it's going to be very close, but I think Optic is going to make those changes. And if I had to pick a game type I felt the most confident in Optic in, I guess it would be uplink. They seem to have the most control, the mental grasp of the game type itself. I think it's going to be the most beneficial for them. But we're looking at these stats real quick. Looking at this map series overall, or the map rotation for the series, Scorch, they haven't won it. Throwback, they hadn't won it, but just won it there. So pretty Scorch, tough maps. I don't know if this is updated after Elevate, because I believe they won Scorch in the Elevate series for Hardpoint. But I think that was, their only win. So they haven't won Frost at all. 100% on Throwback and Precinct. So that's worth noting. When you probably
see
isn't updated from losers, but still not their greatest maps in terms of this tournament.
That's very, very true. And one thing to consider, so if you look at, Scump must have been a monster pretty much in uplink, because I know at least I've seen twice -10 or so in hardpoints that I watched. He went -14 in a hardpoint in the last series. So if he's right around even, that means he's picking that up somewhere, obviously. So it's got to be the uplink. They need a big performance from him.
In the game yesterday versus E6 on Frost, he actually had a really good game, but the rest of the team not quite up to par. So looking at the sort of uplink stats as well for this Optic Gaming side, Scump has been the one putting in that drone the most as well. So shifting up roles a bit, or just in the right spot at the right time. We'll see if Optic Gaming can get some scores on the board, though. They need it here.
And this is, God, I casted last night with Matt. I think you were on the analysis desk, but when it was Rise versus, what was the Rise FaZe, the final match of the night?
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
You can make some crazy defensive plays. Well, let's see if maybe we'll get a little bit more offense in this one, but we are ready to hop into it. Game 3 in Las Vegas, kicking it off with Optic versus E6.
Starting off board, Optic is on the favored side, if you want to call it, on this Frost map. Karma deciding to take this low wall run, should be able to meet one of these players from E6. Gunfight should be going down soon. A quick 3 dead for Optic Gaming. Should be able to move this drone up very quickly, and there's the 4th. Moving it very, very fast up towards this middle connector. Should be able to put the 1 in. Crim6 does not decide to pick up the drone. Going to try and create that lane for his teammate. Able to do it, and there's the dunk. The first push, the first 30 seconds. Optic Gaming goes up 2.
And that's what you have to do when you get those 4 down, especially mid-map. You have to go, go, go. If you get there quickly enough and manage to spawn them out a little bit, you don't necessarily have to win full 2 cycles of kills. They're able to do it, though. They kill the second rotation. They get points on the board, and Optic looking strong here early on, but there is still a lot of time on the clock. Let's take a look at Crim6 here at Dozer. Getting vision on 1 there in Tunnel. Not able to win the gunfight. He falls. We'll see if Scump can pick up a couple of these kills, but it might be E6's turn now for retaliation. Let's get on with Cade.
They got ship control, but didn't really have drone control. Finally, now they're getting a push up towards this ship side. The tunnel, though, Optic answering back. A 3 dead for them. Unfortunate team kill. General going to be the last stand for E6 over towards ship.
Yeah, if that team kill didn't happen, I was thinking go, 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 but they're still on their side of the map, so they wouldn't have been able to make much of it other than kind of getting control here. Let's take a look at Formal. He looks to be the lone K-Bar player. I think you're going to have OSAs for the rest. Hipfire not on point there, and now it's going to be General of E6 with the drone. Trying to make a hero play. He had Ruiz in the back, tries to get the 1-point toss, but cannot do it. That's Karma with the 2-piece on defense to shut things down, and now a change of possession. Scump has it in hand. They're looking to push Ridge. You don't see Ridge used a whole lot throughout this particular map and mode, but they're looking to make plays. Karma still pushing out front, trying to get up and over for the 1-point toss over Cryo, but not able to do it.
I don't agree with that play from Optic Gaming at all. You see both players, or 2 players from each side splitting, 2 towards ship, others towards that Ridge side. They should have grouped up over towards ship, forced those bad spawns from E6, but E6 taking advantage and getting ready to punish. A score should be coming in just a second. Formal shuts down the push, though. It's
going to be so tough, though. Look at the minimap to the left. There's going to be so many people here for the interception, and there it is. They get the pick. It's so hard to score on this side on 1-pointers when you're spawning, on construction, basically right there on your point. Very easy to get picks. I must have seen Zuma, I think, probably had 4 tosses intercepted last night by the side of Rise. He was flustered. I talked with him after the map. We met up at Subway. We were chatting about the match a little bit. Oh, look at a little pass. Gets forward to Krim. Up over the top. Can't get it out of his hand again. That might be 2 1-point opportunities that are barely missed, but you still have Karma here trying to make a play. He's in behind, trying to find the drone carrier before he gets away. Tags him up, gets the kill. Satellite off, and now you have Scump back at mid-map, who should be able to get the reset as they're trying to continue the rally.
Forcing that spawn out from E6 over towards that back sort of alleyway side over towards ship. The drone moving very quickly. Krim should be able to very easily put this dunk in, and there it is. 2 dunks for Optic Gaming in this first half. Complete control for them. They need to stop going Ridge side. It does not seem to be working. The pinch comes in, though. It pays off. Karma with another hell of a game. 15 and 7 with that interception as well.
All right, switching back. It's going to be Proto with Dro. Gets it away. The interception just off there, so you do get 1 point through for the side of V6. I know we've been focusing a lot on Optic in this one, but honestly, they've had most of the offensive production here thus far, but let's see if E6 can make some plays. Finding 1 at mid, but 3 are going to be down. That was rewind used. I wonder what happened to Karma. He's able to zip back. And now if they can find a couple of kills here in a forward position, maybe a chance, but everybody drops, and it's just Formal in the back, but Formal picking up 2 big ones at sub bay to make sure any pressure, any type of counter from E6 will get thwarted for the time being. But actually, if he can see through here, he might have an opportunity. There's nobody at home. They're trying to run back. That's a huge kill because it was open. The number 6 spawn, I think that was Formal spawning and trying to rotate back, but I don't know if he would have got there in time to stop the 1.
Yeah, that was a little bit close. Not sure if that drone got put up into a 15-second spot. Looks like it did. Someone, unfortunately, got that drone stuck on the roof, so bit of a stalemate situation. Looks like Optic gonna just keep working over towards that Ridge side, playing the drone reset. Cade working up through this middle map, picks up 1 at ship, but Krim not letting that drone move anywhere.
Krim now playing at mid-map. These are the clutch kills. These are the ones around the objective that give you control of mid-map. He finds a second, still staying alive. There's a 3rd behind the box. His teammates picked it up, and now it's go time. Tosses it forward, tries to win another, not able to do so, but you do have Formal and Scump still in position to try and make a play, but with both dropping, You think for now it'll die down, maybe a chance for one point toss. There's 5 seconds left on the clock. Are they going to try and make a play? It looks like they try to get a pass forward. He gets it to Karma, but yeah, not enough time. So 4-1, Optic. I mean, this looks a lot different than the game 3 we saw yesterday. I'm telling you, man, there are sometimes Saturday teams and Sunday teams. And not to knock E6 at all. They're playing great. But Optic just always comes alive on Sunday, man. It's when they play their best.
Well, and just speaking from the player experience, playing the same team on the same map the second time,
yeah,
you know, you should be able to make some good adjustments, right? That looked like a completely different game from the game we saw on Frost yesterday. I feel like Optic Gaming should have scored more points, though. They wasted a lot of time. I would say about a minute and a half just, you know, working that drone over towards the red side, over towards Cryo, just not really getting anything out of it off of those kills. So maybe they could have gotten 1, maybe 2 more points.
Karma got scared. I think he tried to win that wall run battle again, not able to do so. He does drop. It's drone inside with Proto as he's trying to make a play with it, but that's going to be a change of possession. Now, you only have General up for the side of E6 and the green wall starting to mount a push forward. They've got control, at least for the time being, of mid-map with Karma and also Scumpy, but with the other two falling, it's certainly going to slow things down for now. And who is being annoying up here? That's General. He's all the way up in the base right now of Optic Gaming, killing them off spawn. But the question is, can anyone actually get the drone up to him? It would have to be Cade. Yeah, he wins one. He just has to get it somehow to a forward spot. But General, has he still not been cleaned up? He's just like, guys, get this to me. I'm spawning them out over and over and over again. But Optic so far doing a pretty good job of dealing with it.
Next couple of gunfights going to be very important. General absolutely snaps onto the player in the back. 2 from Optic Gaming on the defense. The drone does go over that defending player, though. So E6 with a good push. Opened up the door by General. Held that base for quite a while for the drone to move up towards ship. A good push from E6.
I wonder why we don't see that more. You know, instead of worrying so much about mid-map, sometimes we let somebody overextend and just get into the base. If you win a couple of gunfights there inside the sub bay and just get them spawning out. Get them spawning out. Be a nuisance. It certainly seemed to work there, but now things seem to be falling apart a little bit for Optic as Cade goes huge on the defense. He's got 3 in a row. Let's top over to his POV as he gets decimated by the headshot from Scump. They're pushing in, though. They're only trailing by 2. Proto playing his life for now. He will ultimately get dropped. But are you a little bit nervous for the Optic side? At least how you've seen the first couple of minutes here go. It's been predominantly E6, right?
Yeah, it is a little bit scary, but it seems like E6 just trying to force some of these situations just a bit much rather than taking that time to get another wave of 2 or 3 kills. They aren't doing it. Karma takes his drone very quickly up towards blue. The drone does not release out of his hand, though. Formal's there. Does he get it? Yes. 4-point lead back in Optic Gaming's favor. And a nice drone movement from Karma to get that drone over towards that portal.
He gets it in. At first I thought maybe just being a little bit overzealous, but now fully streaked out is Formal. He's on a 6 streak. He's got the dunk. He's picking up kills at Dozer. Will finally fall, but he's got overdrive to work with. He's got some streaks if they need to slow things down. Let's hop over I was going to say Ruiz got all the way into the base again of Optic Gaming. They found a couple of kills. They have the drone carrier here in Proto. Tries to make a play. You still have General. He can't do it. And that's defense from Crim6 and Formal shutting it down. Drone back on spawn.
Great hold from Optic Gaming there. Looks like 3 of the players from Optic positive there. The middle map gunfights seem to keep going in their favor, and especially towards this ship as well. E6 trying to answer back with 2 of their own, but Optic Gaming holding strong. All they need to do is waste time here.
And this is like the opposite that you kind of saw as Cade comes up with 2 more big ones. But, you know, remember, it was only Formal that was kind of positive in the hard point, right? He was kind of carrying the other 3. Now look at General. He's 26 and 21, negative for the rest of the squad. So just a better team effort from Optic in this one as he's moving forward, being a sneaky little kitty. Gets 1 through 6-3. E6 still alive, but 90 seconds left. The battle for mid-map now going to be coming in. General trying to watch sub-bay. Cade has this overdrive. He gets cut down before he can make a play. And you just see the green swarming around mid-map. Karma grabs the drone, gets the ridge, has a lead blocker. Let's see how he opts to play this. Wants to go around the wall run. Maybe try to sink a 1-point throw. Is the interception there? It's off. Not going to go through. It looks like Ruiz was able to snag that one.
Heads up play from Optic Gaming to take the drone. E6 had complete control of ship. Formal being a thorn in the side as well. Gets the drone back in his hand. Pops the overdrive ability. Should be a clean dunk for him.
Gets it.
Formal gets the 2-piece, pops the payload, and gets the dunk. Keeping Optic Gaming with a secure lead in this one. Only 50 seconds left, and I feel like that might be the nail in the coffin. Karma with 2 of his own as well, dropping that drone again. All they need to do is keep the drone in their possession, and it should be all they need to do. So back and forth, it gets the beat down as well. Karma with the fancy play.
Little game of hot potato there. Ends with a fist from Karma. And now with 30 seconds left, you need a miracle if you're E6, but this has been a beauty of a game from Karma and Formal. Both those guys going off really with the objective and in the slaying department, doing it all and turning, frying one, finding the third, 3 for Formal. He's letting them know.
Unbelievable stuff. Optic Gaming finds a way to win once again. And this looks like the complete opposite of what we saw from these guys yesterday. They made the adjustments. They got the slaying that they needed. Karma having a hell of a series. Some more points going in just to add some insult to injury there. But really, the combination between Karma and Formal, that two-piece overdrive dunk, awesome stuff.
Optic fired up. You hear the Let's Go Optic chants in the back. Yeah, it was just a very different Frost uplink than we saw. And I think, yeah, you got to attribute it to what you said. It's tough to beat a team on the same map twice. Not able to do it here. And you got to think maybe the energy of the room as it started to shift there in the search and destroy. The fans start to get behind Optic. You know, that can certainly play into it as the adrenaline gets flowing. But what's going wrong for E6? Because obviously that was drastically different. And I don't think you can attribute all of it to the fact that they played it yesterday.
Oh, for sure. So the mistakes that they were making, got to give props, first of all, to General. Got 32 kills again. So yeah, the man's been an absolute beast for E6. The problem, though, is I counted 5, 6, maybe 7 different times where they tried to force the drone possession rather than throwing it down, taking their time to get the next wave of kills. Optic Gaming would take their time over towards middle or towards that little middle connector over towards ship, and they just couldn't really do anything after that, just forcing plays.
All right, well, before we hop into the next hard point, I believe it's going to be on throwback, we do have Jack Courage Dunlop on the floor with an interview.
Thank you, guys. Yes, down here with Slack from Luminosity Gaming. You hear the energy now out in the venue. It's Championship Sunday, baby. It's kicking off with some great games, and you guys just had one for yourselves in the losers bracket. You take down Evil Geniuses 3-0. Obviously, we didn't get to see it on the main stage, so I want you to break it down. How did it all play out? Pretty quick series for you guys.
Yeah, every time we play those guys, it's really been a pretty quick series. For some reason, since Black Ops 3, I've yet to lose the name like that trio. So going into it, we're feeling really confident. I think we took the hard point like 250 to 120, and we knew if we won Search and Destroy, the series was over. We won that like 6-3. Then the uplink we won like 7-1 easily or something like that.
Yeah, and as a team coming into this weekend, we spoke on Friday, and you said that exact same sentiment. If we can win our Search and Destroys, we will be unstoppable. Respawn has been your catalyst throughout this weekend. What is it that works so well with this team?
You know, going into this game with the replacement of, Looney or Saints for Looney, we really wanted to pick up a Slayer, and it really improved our Respawn game, but I think we lost a little bit with Search and Destroy. And with this new game, we're still trying to figure things out, but once we get it down, we're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, your hard point has looked untouchable throughout the weekend, and you're going to try to carry that now as you go up against Allegiance to keep your losers bracket run going. This Allegiance squad, they've looked quite solid as well throughout the weekend. What has made it possible for them to get this far? Because, to be quite honest, they surprised a lot of teams. What are you guys looking out for?
You know, Search and Destroy wins championships, and that's what they've been doing. They've been, taking their Search and Destroys, and if they steal a Respawn on a good team, they're going to win the series. So we can't let that happen again. When we played them a pool play, they ended up taking the first hard point by like 15 points. So as long as we can allow that not to happen, we'll be good.
Final question for you here, Slack. Is this the end of the run of Luminosity, or are you guys going for that title? How do you see this next series going, in your opinion?
I think we're going to take the series. I don't see anyone stopping us. Our Search and Destroy just keeps getting better as the tournament goes on, and good luck to everyone.
Oh, you heard it from him first. He does not see this Luminosity gaming team stopping. For now, though, we're going to send it over to Benson on the analyst desk to break down our Optic Gaming series.
Thank you very much, Jack. We're going to go all the way back down to map number 1. Mark, I'm going to start with you. It looked as if E6 were continuing where they left off.
Oh, absolutely. And all 4 of them were just playing so well. They were rotating, and we even saw that FTL jump to use effectively. Yep. It was awesome to see by Caden. And that's just what we saw. We saw that teamwork just come into play, and they outslayed Optic Gaming and won by 100 points.
Yeah, it's always tough to predict that Optic Gaming is going to lose a hard point because they get slayed out pretty much across the board. And I know TV was talking about like the backbone in general. They dropped 32, 33 kills, whatever it was. But really, all 4 of the players showed up. And even Optic Gaming, on the first 4 or 5 hills, they won the rotation battle every single time. E6 just came, slayed him back out, and took complete control. So pretty dominating performance, honestly.
Just kind of build on Optic Gaming in hardpoint in this event, Merc. Would you say that's been maybe their worst game mode?
I think so. It just seems like they don't really have that discipline down right now. I feel like the more they play, the better it's going to get. So We'll see in this game number 4. But Yeah, definitely. They are very content with winning those search and destroys and uplinks.
And it seems like the first hard point as well seems to be getting to them.
Yeah.
Like on whatever map it is, they played Elevate earlier, and they lost the first hard point, and then they came back and won the next 3, including that hard point again. So I don't know if it's just opening jitters or like what the thing is, if they're just not on the same page. But the first hard point seems to be a lot worse for them than the second one. That being said, again, if E6 can have a dominating performance like they did map 1, no one's going to stop.
Yeah, E6 definitely looking very, very good at hardpoint. And then obviously the flip side, we hit to map number 2, Search and Destroy, and you're sat here thinking, okay, well, E6, they're probably going to go 2-0 up here. But Optic, they just had a little bit of a clutch factor on that.
They just seem more as a team in Search and Destroy, and that's what they were sort of talking about yesterday, is we're not playing as a unit, and it seems like their play calls right now, they're making those mid-game adjustments that are able to keep them successful.
Yeah, and one of the things they were doing early on is they were kind of playing team deathmatch over Search and Destroy for the first few rounds. So a lot of teams like to just rush plant A, and we saw Scump. He would go down there, but he just sit on the bomb site and wait for a player to challenge because he knows that a player is going to challenge at some point, waits for that gunfight to go down, then he goes for the plant, and then they were even making late game adjustments of, all right, now we go for the quick plants because E6 isn't going to be prepared.
I think game 2 was really where you saw Karma just explode into this series. I mean, he had a fantastic map number 3, which we'll touch on in just a little bit, but map 2, he was just controlling everything, it seemed like.
And that's what we talked about. You heard Teep talk about it. He's just so sneaky. He creates just different situations that you don't see from any other player, you know, on the circuit. And he drops 15 kills, he keeps his team back in the game. And then in game number 3 at uplink, he was always in that E6 side of their base. He was always on their side, just picking up multiple kills, and that's what really allowed Optic to keep that lead.
And then, of course, towards the end, you got a little bit more of the cheeky Karma with a couple of teabags, a couple of shooting some buddies and whatnot. That's what you always want to see with Karma. He is one of those players, right, Chance?
Yeah, when Karma's having fun, I feel like he's at his best. And again, that game 1 wasn't the greatest, but he started to loosen up a bit. And once he started to get rolling in the Search and Destroy, he never really looked back. Again, he was 15-6 at one point in the uplink as well. And even when he started to fall off just a bit, Formal just picked up the slack and just turned into an absolute monster. He was getting streaks, making overdrive plays, getting 2-piece after 2-piece. So again, Optic Gaming, they are turning it around very well.
So now,
in that game 3 too, they learned from their mistakes yesterday, I believe. You know, E6 had 2 to 3 OSAs and Optic didn't, and then you can see Karma has one, Scump has one now. They're just able to put so much more pressure on the map.
So now looking forward a little bit, of course, we go over to a throwback hardpoint look. Is it going to be Karma that you're keeping your eyes on here to kind of continue with that momentum that he's had from the first couple of maps to potentially try and shut the series out?
Absolutely. I think him and Formal, you just saw that he was heating up at the end of game 3. I think those are the 2 guys you had to keep your eyes on because Throwback, we talked about it a little bit last night, it's more of a fast-paced hardpoint. There's a little bit less rotations. Yes, you can still get punished, but a lot more slaying in this game type.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking at Crim too, because again, I think Formal, we're going to expect at least consistency, if not a good performance. And again, Karma this series has been on point. Crim 6, though, that first hard point was really struggling, so I think he's the player to look out for to start turning things around.
And then, Merc, from an E6 standpoint, in this next hard point, who's going to be that player that you're just looking at to go off? Is it once again going to be Cade using the FDL jump? Is he going to try and make flashy plays?
I think it's sort of the role players, Cade and Ruiz. We haven't touched much on them. We sort of talked about Proto in general. General's been that consistent slayer, but they need help, you know, from those other 2 guys.
Well, as it stands, Optic Gaming currently up in the series, 2 maps to 1. Looking to close it out here on this next hard point. It's going to be everything from the analysis desk. For now, we can send it back up to our casters for the series.
Brilliant stuff, gentlemen. Pumped and fired up to get into this one. If you're just tuning in, welcome to MLG Vegas Championship Sunday. We've got a big one here as we're getting closer and closer to these final few matches of the day. Teep, let's get into it, buddy.
Optic Gaming now on match point, starting up map 4, throwback hard point. Let's see if Optic Gaming can fix their hard point struggles here. But they have not looked good on the game type, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's what's insane. Imagine them winning this series if they were able to and losing both hard points. Like if it goes to a game 5, that'd never be a situation I would even really consider. But it could end here unless E6 comes up clutch, but they have looked very, very good in hard point. But now 3 down, Cade the only one up. Cade trying to make a play, can't do it, and that'll be Formal. Finding 3, him and Crim 6 both starting out nicely, and that's a good start for Crim too, because they mentioned he did not have a good game 1. They need him though. The longer the series goes, the more pressure that seems to mount, the better he likely is going to play.
Seemed like some more OSs were coming out on that Frost as well, so maybe they start, you know, switching over to a 2-2 split. We'll see what they're most comfortable with. Looks like the better half of this hard point would be about 35 seconds going into Optic Gaming's favor as we focus on this rotation over towards Barn. These gunfights towards the back going to be very important. Ruiz need some help here.
Yeah, and he got the help. Well, Karma did actually find one before dropping, which is crucial considering there were 2 players in front of him. But Ruiz now starting to work a little bit towards these streaks. He's gotten the Scarab, 300 off the Trinity, just got vision on one going up over the fence. Teammate spawning on him, finds yet another. Cannot keep it going, though, as finally he will drop. And now let's get a little bit closer to the hard point. Back barn, going to be Scump. Dipping, diving, finding the kill there, and now looking to contest as he keeps it going. Gives the assist into Crim6. And now Optic looking to build some more time.
So much pressure from Optic over towards that back line side. They break the spawn, and look how far out those blue arrows on the minimap are spawning out over towards that blue. Just going to take them so long to get these gunfights over back towards barn. Karma picks up the third.
My Karma.
The Osa seems fitting in this man's hands. An absolutely dominant maps 2 and 3. Making it happen again here. Lots of time in the hard point, and Optic Gaming cruising to a sick lead.
Well, we got to get to the rotation, but we'll get back to Karma in a moment. I thought for a second that was going to be Crim6 spinning, getting his eagle on, but now the spawn's not exactly favorable here as we get to bike path, as they're going to all have to rotate out. Karma will finally end up dropping. But, you know, speaking to Karma, I mean, he's been a big part of the slang, and he didn't really need to do that as much last year. I feel like you're always talking about Formal and Scump and just kind of the clutches, the big plays, the objective work that Karma would do. But so far, they've needed the slang from him, certainly. But let's hop over to Ruiz as well. He just had 4 in a row. He didn't end up dropping. There was General there to trade that out. But this looks kind of the opposite of the first hard point. Early lead for Optic Gaming. Let's see if they can hold on or if E6 will be able to fire back. And this is a kind of an easy one to contest, right? When you can sit on either side of that, but everyone dropping, it's just going to be Proto left. They can take him out, going to be able to rack up some more time, and he should be dropped somehow, still alive and able to slide and find one. But Karma, yet again, another spree, 10 and 6, 3 in a row, leading all players in hard point time before. He's doing it all right now.
Oh, Optic's completely happy with this hard point. Yes, a lot of time was contested, but they had the side that they wanted for the rotation over towards next, towards this back statue baseball field. You know, they weren't the ones in the situation that had to make a play. They just took their time, and E6 had to situation. Shaky shots from Karma there as General picks up 2. E6 should be able to get a majority of this time, but there is one player lingering. That's Crim on this left side of the map.
Yeah, they're going to try and set up the pinch here. I'm going to switch to Crim's POV. Actually, Crim's going to get flanked. He needs to go now. Otherwise, I got to go to Ruiz. Ruiz should be coming up behind both of them, but they're able to sniff it out. Now the pinch is going to come in. Crim able to find it. Scump and Karma finding more. And now Optic Gaming locking down baseball field. And it's Karma kind of pushing out this bike path side, sorry, blue side that was able, bowling side, that was able to find a couple of kills to slow them down. And they keep racking up the time. They've had just about a double-digit lead throughout most of this team.
Yeah, just great stuff overall. E6 just can't seem to put anything together. Yes, they're getting some multi-kills here and there, but can't really get that last player. Usually it's Karma able to pick up that last couple of players in the hill. And, you know, this Optic Gaming team, once they get rolling, they're just pretty scary and tough to take out in these 1-versus-1 gunfights. 70-point lead for Optic Gaming on this rotation.
Just keeps on building. What does E6 need to do differently? Is this just a gassed up, fired up Optic Gaming team and they're having trouble now keeping up with the slang? Or are you seeing something that's sticking out like a sore thumb for this E6 side?
I think they're spreading out a little bit too far, not focusing on these favorable spawns enough, but largely you can see it from our POV right here. They're losing these 1v1 gunfights. The only person that it really isn't is General, so the rest of the team needs to just pick it up, maybe play a bit more slow and selfish a pre-aim style to win some of these gunfights.
Yeah, they certainly have to get it going as, yeah, it's all 4 players now positive from Optic, where we saw that only true for 1 in the game 1, so the slaying factor certainly coming alive, and they basically have doubled the opposition throughout this. So slowly but surely, the lead just kind of building over the course of this. Now the pressure going to come in. It's going to be Karma. He's been the hot hand, 17 and 13 right now as he's trying to hit back barn. Checking Lime, finding one, can't win the gunfight. Those one-on-ones that E6 needs to win. We'll see if they can continue to win those battles.
E6 just not setting up properly on this back barn hill. Yes, they are winning some of these gunfights, but you see when you hold that left side of barn, how far you spawn out over towards blue. Luckily, some gunfights bail them out of this weird situation. Scump has something to say about it, though. A 3rd kill for him. Sliding into the hill, has some help from Crim as well. Another clean break, and it looks like E6 now going to flip over towards that lemon and lime side of the map, but just getting pushed out so far. Now spawning blue. This 30 seconds is going to be very easily into Optic's favor, or at least should be.
And not something you talk about as much in COD versus maybe other shooters is team shooting. Because, you know, you die so fast. The time to kill so quick. I've seen so many, I feel like so many assists on the POV MVPs we've been going to, just showing, to me, that the communication is just really on point right now for Optic Gaming. They're working together brilliantly. They had an 8 or 9 streak stretched together there, and they're looking to close this game out 163-80. Crim6 finding one mid. You have on X-Ray a couple players spawning field, and now the new hard point has popped. Shots a little all over. That's a range was a little bit tough with the OSAs. He is going to get gunned, and Scump was the only man up with Karma, but this entire time has been Karma racking up time.
Looks like 3 OSAs for the side of Optic, and that's exactly what I have recommended for this squad. Just run and gun, get up close and personal with that fast time to kill close range weapon. It is an assault rifle, but really plays like an SMG.
It's reactive armor out for Scump. He was really close to picking up the bombardment, and Scump has stepped up, man. I know we've knocked him a little bit for his KD and respawns over the course of this broadcast, and it's not even that the 1.0 is that bad. It's just for Scump it is that bad when you're used to seeing 1.2, somewhere in that ballpark. But now, coming up big as he is 25 and 16, but the man, I think the MVP of this series for me has been Karma, and he continues to get it done. A minute plus in the hard point here, just soaking up this time. He's got to contest, though, on the other side of it, and he cannot win that one-on-one gunfight. Now, look, you have a lot of, what do you have? You have Camo available, FTL jump, also rewind, maybe string together some of these payloads and some clutch plays for E6, but they've got a lot of work to do. They're down big, team.
Some score streaks dropping in. Ruiz does have this camo to work with, decides to pop it now. Best time to pop it, in my opinion. A 3 dead for Optic Gaming. Last player alive is going to be Crim towards his middle underpass. Wins 1, but gets traded out. So a good hold. Finally, something happening for E6.
That was sick from Ruiz.
But Scump drops some Scorchers down and takes out a couple.
That's what's tough when you have the streaks that start to come in and get the break. Top blue is going to be Cade. He's able to, let's say, maybe not come up behind one, but he does find it. But Optic Gaming has now got the favorable spawns. Take a look at the minimap. Spawning in close is going to be Karma and Formal as they're able to rotate over and pick up the final 20 or so seconds here. And the spawn for E6 was all the way, I believe, over at Silo, basically. Not even going to give them an opportunity to try and fight for that final time.
For sure, score streaks just used at the best times. Yes, payload abilities were dropped by E6 to hold for a little bit, but Scump bombs them out of the hill. Gets the last 20 or so seconds on that hard point. We're rotating back to middle now, and I just don't think E6 really has a chance here. They need to string multiple hills together, but I don't feel like their setups are proper on especially Barn.
Yeah, Optic has certainly come alive in this one, and things very dire for E6 now, still trailing by 100 points. They would need to play perfect hard point to try and get this done, but his 3 drop, that may be the dreams dropping of E6 as well, as Optic Gaming continues this loser's bracket run. That's all 4 being taken down in succession. Formal playing the objective inside, trying to find time. 19 seconds away from closing out this series. Barring a miracle, Optic Gaming is moving on.
Fighting for top 6 here. They looked like, well, pretty bad yesterday. They turned it around here, though. Only need 10 more seconds. Last 7 seconds of scraps should be going into their favor, and I think they're just going to close it out here. A couple of players dropping from E6, a third from Formal. One more player spotted at this front bar. They should have this rotation. One more second, and that's it. Optic Gaming now makes top 6 to play phase.
Crowd letting them know they were quiet in game 1. You didn't hear a whole lot. Well, one, I think the stands, fan-wise, probably doubled over the course of the game, as this was the first match on the main broadcast. You know, we were talking about the fact it was kicking off at 11 o'clock. People filtering in, the energy just growing and growing over the course of that. It's a tough loss for E6, but let's talk a little bit from their side. How impressed were you with their run coming into this weekend, considering I don't think any of us expected them maybe to make it this far? Sure, it was possible, but they had a nice run.
I am pretty surprised, to be honest. When you take that much time off, yes, I'm sure the guys were still playing at a competitive level throughout this last year, but now they're allowed to come to these events and participate. And the fact that these guys stuck together for this long, kept some of that chemistry going, and had a pretty solid performance here. Getting top 8, you know, that's not bad at all. And you see sort of the potential that we saw from them yesterday. Shaky a bit today, but it's an Optic Gaming on Sunday. What can you really expect?
Yeah, and at some point, all these guys, General Release, Cade, and Proto, showed they can slay with the best of them and keep up. Very good stuff from E6, but unfortunately, their tournament dreams are done, and Optic Gaming is moving on. I believe it's FaZe up next. We didn't see it all of last year, but to break this one down, we'll toss it back down to Benson and the boys.
With that win, Optic Gaming secure top 6. Their life obviously still alive in the losers bracket, and as you heard Maven say, that means the next matchup we'll see Optic Gaming versus FaZe on the main stage. That's going to be a fantastic one. Before we get there, though, let's just kind of talk a little bit about that last hard point we saw. You know, E6 just not able to really carry that momentum. I think one of the big things that happened, Scump had a fantastic game, and I think you can see the effect he really does have for Optic Gaming.
And that's just what we sort of talked about going into this throwback hardpoint. Is it's a little bit more floody, sort of like these guys' style, but all of them were positive.
Right.
They're all just playing so well. That's what you want to see from these guys.
Yeah, and then even in the first hardpoint, I mean, they played it pretty much like flawlessly. They just couldn't win any of their gunfights, it seemed. I think they had 2 players that weren't quite at double negative, but they were down by quite a bit. And so you go in a throwback, as long as they're picking up the necessary gunfight wins, which, again, all 4 players were doing, much easier performance, and that's to be expected, I think, from Optic Gaming.
Of course, there, a quick recap of exactly how the series went. It started with an E6 win, a comfortable one at that, 250 to 131 before Optic Gaming wins 3 maps back-to-back, a 6-4 S&D, 8-3 uplink, a 250 to 117 hardpoint of their own. And with that, they will advance to round 5 of the loser bracket, where they will meet FaZe. But just to kind of talk a little bit about Enigma 6, you heard the boys on the desk kind of talking a little bit about it, Merc. How impressed were you by E6 this event?
I mean, very impressive. Sort of when you saw the CWL season start this year, you saw E6 at the top of the leaderboards. And I sort of thought, man, maybe these guys are back. They had such a good performance in Advanced Warfare. But, I mean, these guys look really good. I'm excited to see them in future events.
Where is the ceiling chance for this Enigma 6 squad?
I'd say top 4 is probably going to be their ceiling. I think it's one of those things that where genuinely just in the respawns, they don't quite have enough slaying power to keep up with your like absolute top teams. But still, they have a win over Optic Gaming. They have a win over Rise. And I think, honestly, the Rise win might even be more impressive. Just, again, they were doing incredibly well in the pool play, but, you know, it only matters on Championship Sunday.
Very true, very true. With that, of course, it's going to conclude the analysis for that matchup. Coming up, though, as we said, Optic Gaming going up against FaZe. What a matchup and what a way to really kick off Championship Sunday here in Vegas.
That's a whole lot of sugar. Fun fact, there are about 16 packs of sugar in one 20-ounce can drink. And then there's us.
Gaming is currently considered one of the top teams in competitive Call of Duty. A crowd favorite, a media powerhouse, and tournament favorite in every competition. They have brought home championships from every major tournament in Call of Duty except the elusive Call of Duty Championship, which has yet to be placed in their trophy case. No one wants to be known as the best who have never won. They have the talent. Scump is regarded as the best player in the league. Crimsix and Karma are former COD World Champions, and Formal is one of the best slayers in the game. Each year they don't win, the pressure builds to succeed. This Optic Gaming squad has the potential to win it all. If they don't, could there be changes?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Championship Sunday here at the MLG Las Vegas Open. Benson on the desk, joined by Merc once again and TP. Thank you for joining us, Teep. I want to kick things off as well, obviously saying next matchup, Optic Gaming, FaZe, something which so many people have been waiting so long to see. We finally get to see it, but losers bracket. So that it brings up an interesting conversation. I mentioned it earlier on in the day. Teep, I think you may have heard when I said UGC Niagara, you went on a massive, massive losers bracket run there. Yourself at MLG Columbus in 2011. But I want to get your opinion, Teep. How difficult actually are these losers bracket runs, and what's really the key to success in these runs?
It really depends on your team's overall mentality. When you're talking about these two teams, though, it's pretty funny. That run, I had Clay, right, and I had Crim. Both of these players sort of can will your team to a victory on a map when you're struggling, especially throughout a grind like a loser bracket is. So it's going to be tough to see. But from my experience personally, I feel like once you get past the first couple of matches, you start to get this momentum, and the matches actually become easier. Once you start winning, it gets easier. It's a weird feeling, but I feel like it's just adrenaline, really.
Fair enough. I mean, FaZe, they've been kind of known, if you will, for being pretty good losers bracket players. I mean, Clay himself, whenever his back is truly against the wall, he seems to just kind of perform on the next level.
Yeah, they just love pressure, and for some reason, when that pressure's not on them, they're just a completely different team. So starting from match number 1 for these guys, the pressure is definitely on.
Of course, here a quick look at our map order, starting with a throwback hardpoint, retaliation, search and destroy, and then a throwback uplink is our first 3. Quick glance, TP, does that favor anyone in your opinion?
I'm going to give my favoritism to Optic. They just had a dominating performance on a throwback. They get to play it right again here. So all those adjustments they made and things that worked against E6, they can apply them right away.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, there was so much pressure on that map, and that's what we talked about at Yo Into It. And that retaliation, search and destroy, I think I sort of want to give that one to FaZe. I feel like I've seen them play that a few times. They have a lot of different strategies. They know how to switch it up. So I'm going to give that to them. But I think the big thing is that uplink. I think that is going to decide the series. It's going to be very important.
That's going to be the deciding game type for you?
I think so. I think that's going to be a huge momentum shift into someone's favor.
Okay. Obviously, for FaZe Clan, PSX champs, they didn't actually have to play against Optic in that previous tournament. So, Merc, for you, how much of a statement is this for FaZe? Because obviously, yes, a championship is a championship, right? But I feel like, your fans can look at you and be like, well, you didn't play against Optic. They weren't there. How important is this for FaZe?
I think it's important because this rivalry goes back all the way to 2015, where Optic just couldn't beat FaZe. So is that mental block still there for Optic? We'll have to see.
That's a good point. I didn't really think about that. But in terms of key player matchup, TP, for this one, I think you can look at Formal and Clay as two massive, massive players who are going to be going toe-to-toe against each other. I mean, there's a look at some stats for you. Respawn KD, Clay with a 1.46, Formal 0.93. S&D KD, though, I mean, that's where Formal's been excelling pretty heavily, to be honest, a 2.33 and a 1.2. But take away the stats, just from your opinion here, Teep. Who really does have the edge in this one?
It's funny because I don't think the stats are going to be relevant in a series like this.
Right.
Going back to their rivalry in AW, it was sort of a battle between these two. Who's going to drop 50? Hardpoint's a little bit different now. You're not going to be getting those 50 bombs probably at all, right? But I still think it's going to come down to these two players of who can open those doors. Who's going to open the door for, a Scumpy or, on the other side, Attach, right? I feel like it's going to be up to those AR players to lock it down and sort of play for KD in a sense. Play slow, play smart, get yourself up top, height advantage. Whoever is able to do that better is going to have more success.
I mean, I have to agree with you there. These are sort of the anchors. These are your first to rotate. And those, they're going to have a lot of key one-on-one battles, especially in hardpoint. So, I mean, these two guys can change the pace, and especially going to even search and destroy. I was talking about a Formal. this was sort of the guy you saw at 2.33, but that Clayster, if he can bring out that sniper, maybe even have a sniper duel.
Oh, that'd
be
be
fun.
Very exciting. It'd definitely be a fun one to watch out for. In terms of the bigger picture, though, here, whoever does walk away with the win, Merc, how far do you see this team going through the bracket?
I think probably whoever wins this probably ends up in the final. That's my prediction.
Team, you agree with that?
This is a juggernaut match, and the amount of momentum and confidence, I think confidence is the most important thing in anything competitive.
Okay.
I feel like either team, this is sort of their rivalry match, the one they've looked forward to for, over a year now?
Right.
You know,
that's a big rivalry.
That's a huge mentality to have going into your next
I mean, we heard Clay yesterday, I believe, in one of his post-game interviews say, yeah, the one team I want to play, it's up to gaming. Well, Clay, you got your chance now.
And the sort of important thing is that they can't put all of the energy into it, because what it reminds me of is Cloud9 at COD Champs. After they beat Optic and knocked them out, they lost their next match. They almost put a little bit too much energy. Talked to Pat about it. He says, we just sort of ran out of gas. So it is important. You have to win this match, obviously, but you can't put all your eggs into one basket.
And TB, how difficult is that to do, to manage that energy level? Because obviously, as you said, this is a huge game for these players. They've been waiting so long. Now you finally get it. I mean, how do you manage that energy effectively?
It's tiring, man, especially with high stakes like this. Your adrenaline's pumping. How long can you keep that energy up, number one? How long can your adrenaline keep pumping at that top level? And how much hype can you keep within your team? I feel like each of the players on the team need to take turns creating that energy, being that dominant player on the communication lines in order for them to keep on rolling forward.
I mean, we saw earlier on, Formal, he was standing up, he was getting very loud in that last series. Of course, Clay yesterday as well, doing a very similar thing. How important is that to you, Merc, the energy levels? Because different players, you know, they all have different opinions. Some say, oh yeah, you know, when your teammate gets hyped, it makes me play better. What's your stance on that?
Well, I think when it comes from Clayster, it's sort of what you expect. He gets his team in the game, but when it comes from Formal, that's sort of a different beast. You hardly see it. I think the only sort of time you see is when the pressure's on them. You saw it a little bit at the Call of Duty Championships last year. So when he's pumped up, you know it's a serious match.
And what was it like on the other stance, team? You know, when you do have Clay sat next to you and he's getting loud, does it really have that effect, or did it have that effect on you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
He basically just stares at you, and he's like, we're going to win. And you're like, yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, let's do that.
I like winning. Winning is fun. Winning is fun. Speaking of winning, though, Mark, who's going to win this series? I'm gonna just throw you straight out there. You're going to give me a prediction.
Oh, man.
I know.
A tough one.
You've been good all weekend, though. So far, every single prediction you've been correct on.
I have?
I've been keeping track.
All right, cool.
So no pressure. So no pressure.
Nice work.
Well, I think what's really important is that Optic has matches under their belt today. It's really important how Clayster and this whole FaZe team comes out. I think Optic's just been getting better and better. I'm going to go Optic 3-1.
Optic 3-1. TP, do you agree with that?
I think I agree. It's going to come down to if Optic's going to stick with the 3 OSAs. I think that's been the biggest change for them from start to now in this tournament. And I feel like if FaZe is going to have a chance here in this one, they need to match that weapon setup. Keep the pressure. Pressure is going to be everything in an early tournament like this.
I guess that kind of begs the question, why wasn't that the opening strat from Optic the entire time? Because we've seen them do it in that last map, and they look so much more comfortable.
I just think that comes with practice, just under practice, and the more these guys play, the better they're going to get, and that's what's scary for all the teams left in this tournament.
And LAN. You know, transition from online to LAN, maybe they just feel more comfortable with a certain weapon.
Very true. Obviously, you as well just kind of touched a little bit about playing already on Championship Sunday, something that historically in Call of Duty has had an effect. How big is that effect, though, for FaZe? I mean, how quickly do they need to go from, all right, you know, we just had breakfast, we just got here, we just watched something, all right, game time?
It's tough to do, man. It really is. That first match of a day is really tough to do. You're on the third day of a tournament. You're starting to get tired a little bit. You have to get back in that zone as fast as possible.
Well, without further ado, the rig draft underway between Optic Gaming and FaZe Clan. A quick glance across. It looks as if it's going to be pretty much similar potential change.
And something that's interesting is Clayster decides to go with that overdrive. He's usually a Centurion guy, but maybe he just told his team, you know, this isn't working out as well as I want it to.
I think you see that matched up there, Formal as well. He's going to be rocking that. So that fight TP that you mentioned, I mean, that's going to be even more crucial now, I think. But you see the map fly through coming in. Throwback hardpoint about to get underway here on Championship Sunday. Optic Gaming versus FaZe Clan. Map number 1. Over to the casters.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. FaZe Clan finally going back up against Optic Gaming. Chance, it has been 14 months since the last time we saw this battle on land, and you've got a big smile on your face.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but we will finally have our answer for who is the top team, Optic Gaming or FaZe Clan. Coming off the break, we're on board with Scumpy.
Let's get it, folks. Scump will begin to push right towards middle map. He's got the weapon that in hardpoint this weekend seems to be the weapon that works for him. That OSA, such a high rate of fire, probably most similar to a submachine gun in the current meta. Off the break, it is Optic Gaming with early hardpoint control as they are completely outslaying their opponents.
Yeah, you know, these guys are going to be fresh. They just finished playing on this exact same map, and they are continuing their dominance on it. Formals, he's just been hanging inside the hill the entire time. He's not expected necessarily to do the OJ work, but he has done just that. OG with that early 21-0 lead.
They actually did have the spawns for this new hardpoint, but nice job to FaZe. Get 4 dead for the second. They're going to have to push through towards this barn side. Chance, how do you want to see him retake this? Should they just flood right through this underpass area, go towards Lemon right now? It seems like Optic Gaming actually want to bring the pressure to them, and OG wipe FaZe off the map.
And more importantly, they're able to keep the spawns as well. So they get that clean 4 down. FaZe is going to spawn even farther back. So the initial time definitely going to go towards that green side. Of course, FaZe, though, you see they're all flooding down Lemon side with the exception of one. I think that, of course, well, it's going to be Zuma on the flank. No surprise there. Still, though, FaZe, all that pressure coming in from the side, and all 3 players going to pick a kill up. Karma not going to be able to do anything. Zuma gets that cleanup kill, a perfect break from FaZe Gaming.
This is what you wanted to see, man. They get a clean break. These two teams so evenly matched on the retake. Now Clayster expecting the pressure to come in. One grenade misses. Shots, though, just over the shoulder of the first player who charged on in. Zuma can't clean up the backside, and now Attach pushing in from the side barn door. His teammate does get one. Second challenge comes into play, just playing his life for the second. 39-36, the score at the moment. It's about to be a tied game as we begin the rotation towards this third hard point.
And really, kills have been traded back and forth pretty effectively on both sides. It's just FaZe, for the majority of that, had the better response. Of course, though, OG trying to get that scrap time. There is that final gunfight for it. Attach is going to come out on top. Meanwhile, though, the rotation is over. Karma's the one that has to get down these lockdown lanes. He's only able to pick up one. Scump, though, is going to be there for the trade. So again, it is going to be Optic Gaming coming out on top of that rotation battle.
Enable trying to play this close corner with the OSA. Not going to work there as Karma makes them pay for some missed shots early on. Both teams so evenly matched at the moment. Hardpoint contested for a brief second as 3 line up for Scump. Now 7-6. And when he is on point, Optic Gaming are a completely different team. Scump wipes out all of FaZe, and now the crowd's getting behind him here. You gotta love it, Chance. You've got all of Old Men of Optic in the venue. You got Rain, Apex watching online. Their boys are playing as they've now moved to their new house in LA. So much on the line. Everyone happy for this battle to be back on the main stage.
An incredibly close game so far. That's going to be 3 down in favor of FaZe. Make it 4. Formal is going to fall as well. And you see a split spawn actually coming in from Optic. Clayster is able to block it. So you see Crim6 all the way across the map. Going to be coming up behind some players. But again, Optic Gaming with that early rotation, they do have that early control. However, FaZe has been very good so far at breaking these setups.
Yeah, it's Clayster who's going to be the first one here for FaZe Clan. Just trying to play this off angle, catch Optic Gaming off guard. They're trying to both challenge him at the same time, but look at how much attention he's drawing over here, Chance. Optic Gaming sending 3 players to try to cut him down. Clayster gets the help of Enable and Attach, and it's another clean break for FaZe. They're still up by 10. Enable now 12-8. He's on a 3 streak. The guy is stepping up when his team needs him to.
Yeah, and right there you saw Clayster was timing his aggression perfectly. Picks up a kill, doesn't push for anything, waits for his team to help him out. And that's a clean 4 down. Optic Gaming just sprinting into those gunfights. And you see how far up the map FaZe is already trying to push the hold back OG. Still, though, they are going to break through, if not just for the moment. And it actually looks like Attach is going to give up this scrap time just for a moment, or he can challenge, but he's going to be running into quite a few players, and he is going to get his life taken.
If you are just tuning in for the first time this weekend, right before this event, patch goes out, an update to Throwback Hardpoint comes in. The Lime Hardpoint removed. We will now reset at middle map. At the end of the first rotation, we've got ourselves a 10-second game as Attach gets 2, rewinds, and tries to challenge the third. He gets the help of Clayster there to clean him on up. Chance, biggest takeaway for you from this first rotation as we've got quite the close game?
Well, similar to what we saw when OG was playing E6 on the first hard point, they're doing everything right for the rotations, but they just can't hold any of their setups. They're just not winning the gunfights when they need to most. Of course, though, with those rotations, they're getting the early time, so still a very tight game, but you win that battle, got to make sure to pick up the kills. Meanwhile, Attach is doing just that, able to pick up 2, getting himself inside the hard point.
It's what you love to watch, man. 8 of the most individually talented players in the game in just one lobby. So no even so far as Scump does get the better of Attach there. Immediately traded on out, though, by FaZe as they look to get the scrap time. The silver lining for Optic Gaming fans, though, they already have control of this back market area. They have players inside Barn, but this is what you're talking about, Chance. These are the gunfights that OG have to win, and as we talk about it, they go 3 dead. The 4th player's been spotted. It's Scump all by himself trying to make a miraculous play. It won't work out. Optic Gaming spawn out yet again.
Well, we saw last time FaZe was able to send 3 players through this lemon flank, and right now all 4 Optic Gaming members are actually going to be doing that, so going to see what they can pull off. Karma's able to win one god fight in the back, but then you just see FaZe is able to slay them all out. Crim6 was the last alive and attaches there, gets the call out from the teammate and cleans up the kill. Again, Optic Gaming, they are just trying to flood, and that only is going to work when you're winning all of your gunfights, and they are struggling for the moment.
You think back to when these teams battled it out so often in Advanced Warfare, it was Zuma and Attach, the duo, who made it possible for FaZe to challenge Optic Gaming so many times. Right now, they're combined for a positive 9 scoreline in the slaying department. FaZe with their largest lead of the game, now closing in on a full minute as Optic Gaming. All 4 players currently hovering around even, slightly negative. They need someone to light the fire. Chance, who do you think it's going to be?
Well, Karma, he was the guy that had the hot hand against E6 for quite some time. Struggling to pick up that kill. Facer's able to take that one down, and that is an instant break. Now 60 points separate these 2 teams. That is a full hill's worth of time. And again, FaZe still in control of this match.
And Zuma and Attach are still staying hot. You can hear the crowd now getting behind FaZe. Optic Gaming fans are quiet in the venue. They know their team cannot hold a hard point for the life of them right now as Enable gets turned on by Scump. He returns the favor. It's another 3-piece at this underpass hard point. OG, they look to get the scrap time. If they get this chance, they'll be down by about 30 seconds. FaZe, though, they have their eyes set at this baseball hard point. They have the back bathroom spawns, control of bowling as well. They want to try to shut the door on this next hill, Chance.
Yeah, and last time they had this baseball field hill, it took about 3 pushes before Optic Gaming was able to break through. And they were doing that from the blue side of things. Now, of course, they're going to be pushing from bowling. Still, though, FaZe only has 2 players inside the hill. However, Enable's going to be able to pick up one. The camo's causing all sorts of problems. However, Crim6 is going to get traded out, so the camo not all too useful. However, you see from the blue spawns, Optic Gaming is able to come and retake control of this hill.
Camo used by both teams right there. Clayster still has his overdrive ability, but Optic Gaming got the break they need. But the question that has remained this entire map, how long can they hold for? Karma with 1, nearly gets the second. Not going to happen there. As Zuma is pinching in from this baseball side, it does appear FaZe get another break. It's the same thing happening over and over. Optic, maybe they get a break, but they don't hold a chance for more than 10-15 seconds.
Well, both teams right there kind of struggled with blocking spawns, so they basically had a natural spawn to where they would be instantly pinching on the hill. Both Optic Gaming and FaZe, we saw the same thing. Either way, though, FaZe, they are going to get those final couple seconds of scrap time, and again, they have a decent-sized lead. However, Optic Gaming trying to do everything they can to make sure they get the rotation.
FaZe currently outslaying by 13 kills, Chance. When Optic Gaming have looked best in hardpoint, it's because they're commanding the map. Right now, that is not the case. They need to change that up. Zuma looking to continue to carry this momentum. A 2-piece for him there. Good play. Back on down. Save this reactive armor for a more important engagement. He wins the one-on-one as well. He cannot be stopped. 197 to 147, FaZe in full control.
And if he's able to pick up another kill or 2, he can use the reactive just to get streaks, not even just to break a hard point. Still 350 away, has another gunfight inside. Going to elect to push a little bit farther in, try to pick up more players. But again, this is the middle hard point, and FaZe is locked down nearly all of the time. Just 250 away from the Shinny Rocket. Has a gunfight in front, doesn't pop the armor, and he is going to fall still, though, FaZe with a very nice lead.
I think that's a sign of a great player right there, though. Don't waste that reactive armor. Use it for a more important scenario. Clayster will actually use his overdrive to get in towards this granny's house. He'll stay alive for the moment. FaZe now within 41 seconds of winning this game. It's a full 1-minute lead still, as Optic Gaming's opportunities to come back in this game are dwindling. FaZe are still doing every single thing right. Optic now pushing from field as they're getting desperate to get to this hard point.
Well, they do have the pinch coming on the hill, but again, they're not winning any of their gunfights. Scump is the closest one. You see Crim6 is working on the pinch. Still, FaZe Bang just 25 points away from ending this game. Optic Gaming, they need to get inside and at the very least contest, and that is exactly what's going to happen. But no, Attach is able to pick up 2 inside the hill. He just went on a 5 streak, all important kills.
You saw right there, Zuma did pop that reactive armor to try to turn around and take down Crim6. Scump doing everything he can so far this game inside the objective. He's still staying alive, pops a reactive armor of his own. There's two, maybe the third as well. The king has come to life as Scump wipes out 3. He gets the scrap time, and now he's earning streaks of his own. Can this be the catalyst Optic Gaming need to mount the incredible comeback here in game number 1? Folks, if you're just tuning in, this is the CWL Vegas Open. For the first time in 14 months, we see FaZe Clan battle against Optic Gaming on the main stage. Right now, it's all FaZe, but Scump is looking to take matters into his own hands as he's fully streaked out.
Yeah, he's going to have to use those probably for the baseball field. Hill, of course, though, FaZe 12 points away from winning. It is going to be very... Patch had streaks of his own, by the way. Only able to pick up 1, and OG still able to retain control of this hill. But again, these are the gunfights that matters most. Karma's able to pick up 1. That second player back close is going for the challenge as well. Attach is going to win that one. And now FaZe is inside. 10 seconds left, and the game is over.
Optic, instead of being able to rotate, they have to push this hill. Zuma now within 5. Scump calls in the streaks. This might actually hurt his teammates from getting in. No, I do believe they get a body for a second. It's Clayster near this hard point. 247. Is anybody going to make it for Optic Gaming? It doesn't appear so. 1 player in. It is Scump that keeps them alive for just a brief moment. Oh my goodness, Chance. The stage is set. Optic need the best hold they have had in Infinite Warfare if they want to win this game. 248 to 205. It's absolutely possible, but they need the COD gods on their side.
Well, FaZe is taking their time to set up, but Scump is going to be able to call out all those players. Clayster, though, wins the first gunfight. Scump, with his streaks, able to pick up 1. 1 player from FaZe has been able to sneak around back. That's a gunfight going in favor of Optic Gaming. 25 points away, and they will make the comeback.
Streaks being used perfectly by Scump. The first gunfight won again by the green wall. Scump turns around. He's got help from Crim6 and crew. Is this going to happen, Chance? 248 to 235. FaZe have one final push. Entry kill by Enable. Karma can't answer back. Zuma and crew storming on in. FaZe have done it. 250 to 238. And oh my God, this series does not disappoint. The hype from Attach and crew as they know how important that map 1 was.
What a game we just saw. That final push coordinated so efficiently. You saw all players spawning up on the blue side. They made sure the farthest guy back had time to get all the way up close, pushed it together. Crim6 almost was able to hold the line, but it just was not enough. There's 2 points. So difficult to keep people outside of that hill.
Scump was quiet for a part of that game, doing what he can inside the objective. He was -3, -4. At the end of that map, finishes 39 and 30. The streaks come into play. Impressive stuff from him. One thing you've got to make note of, typically Maven, very confident to say formal, the best Championship Sunday player. They're 23 and 35. They missed his slaying ability. As Optic were 1 push away from mounting an 80-second comeback in 3 hard points. Instead, it doesn't happen, and there's a look at Scump. He knows how close that one was. Still smiles, though, as these guys go ahead and get prepared for game number 2, Search and Destroy. So far this weekend, Crim6, a .62 S&D KD. Can he step it up here to bring Optic Gaming back into this series?
I would certainly hope so, because we've seen it before, Optic Gaming. They've been losing the first hard point pretty consistently so far this tournament. I think they actually have a 50% win ratio in the game mode. So it's one of those things where they've been in this position every single time they've played so far, and they've made the comebacks very frequently. So again, retaliation, S&D, it's going to be tough, but it's certainly doable.
Oh man, Greenwall fans, your team down 0-1 after FaZe take the first hard point by 12 seconds. I'm loving what we're seeing so far from the teams this weekend, Chance. My favorite part is I still cannot call who's going to win this event. Later on today, we have Aches in the winner's bracket finals on MLG Primetime going up against Rise Nation. There is still so much Call of Duty to be played, folks. We hope you're enjoying the coverage of the CWL Vegas Open presented by the PS4. Chance, looking ahead, though, in this series, is this now a must-win map for Optic Gaming, or?
Yes, 100%. Okay. So talking to Clayster, he'll even come forward and say, like, our respawn game is amazing. Our S&D needs a little bit of like polishing work, right? It's not that they're bad at the game mode, but that is definitely their weakest point. So if Octa Gaming is going to strike, it has to be now. If you go down 2-0 in the series, again, you got 2 respawns going against an incredible team. I think you might give the edge to OG in the uplink, but even then, it's by an incredibly small margin, and we already saw how close the hard points are going to be.
Yeah, this is no secret that Optic Gaming have struggled in hardpoint this weekend. They have not looked as dominant as they once were in the past. And I can tell you one thing for sure, FaZe Clan love the game mode. There's a look at the squad getting prepared for game number 2, Retaliation, Search, and Destroy. I would love to see a sniper battle between Formal and Clayster. Both players have brought it out this weekend, mainly on Scorch, Search, and Destroy. But there is absolutely play for it here on Retaliation with the long sight lines near Bridge, near that lower street area. Chance, predictions for this map itself. Who do you think is going to be the player to go off for Optic Gaming to bring them back into this?
Karma in S&D last time around, I think he went 15-6. Now, it could be one of those things where he can continue that, or it can be another player to step up. And he kind of pointed out Crim6 with that 0.62 KD, I believe you said it was.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it at all, especially not against a team like FaZe. So if anyone's going to step up for the team, at least you're looking at Crim.
Well, here we go, folks. Rig draft has begun, which means we will be getting into the action here momentarily. Share the stream. Enjoy the enhanced viewing experience on MLG.TV/COD. The new program now coming on out, more in-depth stats than ever before. It is time for game number 2, Retaliation, Search, and Destroy. Oh man, I am excited for some S&D. The most intense moments in Call of Duty history come from this game mode. Off the break, it will be Zuma, Clayster, Enable, and Attach on the offensive side of things. And you know, the man who was doing it all that first map, Zuma, I'm going to watch him off the break.
Well, and one of the nice things about the bomb change that actually came in with the patches, you see both bomb sites gone to quite often. You see FaZe right now, they're going to be leaning towards A. And for the moment, Optic Gaming has absolutely no one watching. However, you can see players have already cleared out B, and it looks like number 8 on the minimap, Karma, is already rotating back to potentially help his friend. But FaZe is playing incredibly passive.
The few times I've watched Optic Gaming on this map, that has been their break in round 1. They send 3 down the arch stairs on defense. They have 1 hold the top hotel hallway. They're not going to find anything this time around. Jammer comes in, which does hit Zuma, so Optic have some information. They know at least 1 player is here by Bridge. How do they elect to rotate on over? You see here on your minimap, all 4 green arrows moving on in for Optic Gaming. They're expecting this pressure towards the A site from FaZe, as first blood has yet to be struck.
Yeah, FaZe right now is waiting for Optic to make a mistake. That's why they have entire map coverage instead of trying to get this bomb down. So that first blood is going to be key, because right now all of Optic's presence is where they need to be over by this bomb. Crim6 nearly getting picked off as well, but still able to get just behind cover. Still, though, 24 seconds left. That bomb's got to go down soon.
And look, the time ticking down, which could favor either side, but it's almost like it's a clock winding down for Clayster to flank, and he misses a lot of shots there. 3 versus 3. Karma gets first blood. He's got the help of Crim6. I'm still watching to see if Clay can win this one. No! It's Scump that gets the better of him. 5 seconds remaining. There's no time for the objective to go down. OG, patience pays off as they take that round and go up 1-0.
I mean, it really is just a great decision not to send anybody on the flank. You want to take these gunfights as a team, making sure you can trade them out. And again, you saw the setup from FaZe. They were waiting for someone from Optic Gaming to push, and it just did not happen. And then they just didn't have enough time. They had to make something happen, and they just came up short. So saw one strategy in the books. We're going to see what OG decides to try and do on offense. Looks like they're going towards B.
We've touched on how Crim6 struggled so far in the game mode this weekend. Currently 2-0, and Optic, they know the nade spots toward those arch stairs. They don't actually get anybody this time around. Karma will be the first one to challenge. He's got the help of Formal there, but it's Zuma striking first blood. All 3 kills for FaZe coming from this one. Man, there's the 4th as well. Tommy Papa lights out here in game 2.
Feeling confident as well. Has 2 players trapped in bike shot.
No.
Notice they're both there. Clayster's able to clean one up, so Scump is going to be trapped in. Gunfight comes out on top. Scump, there's just not much he can do in that situation. So FaZe getting back on the board, all because of that first blood from none other than Zuma.
Look at the amount of hits it took to kill him. 8 bullets spread across Attach, Enable, and then finally Clayster to close that one out 1-1. So far, the defensive side has been the winning side on Retaliation, Search, and Destroy. Back on over to FaZe, who are on offense. And you saw Clayster in that final kill cam with the 2 kills to close it on out. We'll watch him off the break to see how he holds off this lower street push.
Seems to be pretty much what we saw in the first time around. Very slow play in Optic Gaming, as you pointed out. Pretty much the exact same strat. Flooding 3 people out towards B, getting back at least one of those players up. So again, just waiting for someone to make a mistake. Now, that being said, the A bomb plan is going to be open as Clayster is going to fall on that flank, and that might be just enough motivation to not try and get this bomb down. FaZe is going to need to get some picks.
Scump has had some great challenges with that OSA so far this map, getting up close and personal. The NV4 didn't stand a chance, but look, good attach and crew trying to flank this curve side. Does get shots into one. 3 versus 2 now for Optic Gaming, making it 2v2 as there's no trade for Scump, so the 4v2 number advantage Optic Gaming had has now been eliminated. And that's going to force him to play from some awkward engagements. The objective has been planted. How does Attach play this one? He's going all the way across the map.
Yeah, Optic Gaming is going to have no clue where Attach is. So Enable's by himself. He's giving away his position. He's actually going to be pinched in just a little bit. So Attach is going to need to come help. See, Enable is going to fall, but still Attach's position is not known, and he is in the best spot possible to clutch this 1v2. He is going to get spotted, though, and Formal's going to waste no time.
Uh-oh!
Shot coming in. Crim6.
Whoa!
Letting him know.
You know, the bags may have been retired, but there's a new way to let your opponents know you're saying hello. That's the salute. Crim6, he hasn't shown emotion since he was constructed in a warehouse at birth. And Formal with precise shots wins Optic Gaming that round. I love a little banter, don't you, Chance?
A lot of banter, honestly.
Yes.
Great.
The more the merrier.
Be delightful to see. Salute feature. Pretty nice as well. Still, though, FaZe been nothing but defensive-sided wins, so they're going to be looking to tie this one up at 2-2. Optic Gaming going to be going back towards this B side, but FaZe is going to meet them right there. There's going to be a lot of gunfights going down. If anyone decides to challenge, players sliding across, getting aggressive as well. Karma's going to try and go to bedroom. He's going to get shot in the back, and no one's going to be there for the instant trade. However, they at least know where Zuma is.
I don't think they saw Zuma cross, so they had no idea he was playing under the scaffolding side. Karma tries to make the hero play. Doesn't work out this time around. High risk, high reward. Zuma basically gets gifted a kill there with Enable. 4 versus 2. Formal trying to even the numbers back out. Scump and Formal, the T2P duo, seeing if they can convert their first offensive round of the game across the map. Is Formal possibly about to get in an engagement here? 2 versus 2. Formal now double positive, and look at the rotation it's now prompted. Did Scump see it? It doesn't appear so, as on your minimap, FaZe players just trying to move together while Optic Gaming have to focus on the objective.
Well, Optic Gaming being very patient right now. They only have 30 seconds, and it looks like they're going to rotate into the rotation. So FaZe is one step ahead for the moment, but it's going to come down to those gunfights. Formal's going to have a player right in front of him. Looks like Clayster's able to get that one. Scump there is there for the trade. 1v1 Scump with the Osa comes out on top. Is it T2P? I think it is.
Oh, Chance, you're making me excited, my friend. Here's it is from Scump's perspective. Perfect shots to get the 2-piece. Optic Gaming clutch the 2v4. Those are rounds you cannot give away if you're FaZe Clan here on Championship Sunday.
Especially because that's the first offensive win we've seen so far. So Optic Gaming, again, looking very strong to tie up this series, but they have a long way to go. FaZe have been playing very passively on offense so far, and it looks like they're going to be mixing the strats up. Heading mid-map, nice little spread. They have a player on top, Plaque. Zuma able to get the first blood. That's like his 3rd or 4th one, and all of that kill feed is red on the left side. Formal in the 1v4. He might be able to pick up one, but he's surely going to get traded out. He doesn't even get that.
That was easy for FaZe. Optic have done the same thing on defense 3 times in a row. So FaZe, instead of sending players to focus towards that top bridge area, say, we will beat you at your own game. They send 4 towards bridge. They storm out the area, 4 towards arch, storm out the area, wipe Optic Gaming off the map. Beautiful response from FaZe. And OG, they're now beginning to understand, okay, FaZe are adapting to what we're doing. I expect the next defense for Optic to be set up completely different.
Well, a problem right now Optic is going to have is how many first bloods has Zuma got? Like, that's what he's, like, built his reputation off in Search and Destroy. He's magical with that, and he's been consistent with it. This time, though, it is going to be Formal that strikes first. Zuma's going to go for the trade, and Crim6 is going to be there. The bait and switch coming in from Optic. Attached, though, it's going to even up the odds just a little bit. We saw a 2v3 clutch earlier from the Optic Gaming boys. Can FaZe do the same? Well, Attached is going to fall on Naval. It's a very difficult situation. This looks like to be a round for Optic.
Naval, what can he do from this spot? 3 of the best players in the history of Call of Duty alive against him. He's going to go ahead and check that top angle near patio. 30 seconds remaining. Remember, in competitive, it is a 7.5 second defuse. There's the first blood, and no trade. Scump and Formal both still alive as they're going to begin the rotation towards this bottom bike area. Naval sees one, but not going to happen. Optic Gaming close the door, now up 4-2.
Yeah, and the primary goal in a situation like that is just to try and get as many kills as possible, and if the opponent makes mistakes, then you can actually try and clutch the 1v3. So you saw he was taking his time, checking his corners. it's just a tough situation to go in from the get-go. Either way, though, Optic Gaming, they've won the only offensive round so far, and they're looking to do the exact same.
If you're just tuning in, game one was close down to the wire, 250 to 238 for FaZe. Now, FaZe are on the back foot, though, having to fight from 2 rounds behind. And Chance, what did I say? Next defense, Optic going to change things up. It's exactly what they do. The arch strat no longer working, so they'll put a little bit more focus towards this top patio side.
Well, they're going to have 2 players up there right now. A lot of shots exchanging as well. Now, this bomb can likely get planted. There's still going to be a player for Optic creeping around top bedroom. That's going to be Scump. Placer, though, he's going to be the player supporting his teammate. Looks like they're going to be potentially going to face before they get this bomb down. Scump, though, able to get the first blood on none other than Zuma. Scump's going to get the second as well. Not going to get traded out. Formal's in a tough spot, but he's got the help from his teammates attached, though. He's able to pick up Karma on the exchange. Placer's going to be able to pick up Prince, and this quickly turns into a 2 versus 2.
Listen, every single kill here is where I'm thinking action's going to develop. It doesn't wind up happening. 2v4 potentially for the side of FaZe as they're trying to match Optic Gaming. What can Scump do? Look at what he's got to use, though, folks. That payload ability, the perfect one for this scenario. Did he get spotted in top bedroom? I don't believe so. 20 seconds left. He's going to choose a site to go to, and, well, we know more than they do. That is not the right one. Scump against Attach and Clayster. The world champions back in Advanced Warfare against arguably the best ever in Call of Duty. Scump challenges first. The OSA from this range, not what you want to have. He knows he's got to go from a different angle as he'll go ahead, back up, regen his health, and challenge again.
Well, I'm not sure if FaZe knows he has reactive either. If he can get close to him and challenge, he could easily get that 2-piece because, again, those players are just bunching up. Still, though, he does not have really nearly enough time to be able to pull this off. He's just trying to go for the pick, so not really going to see a round win out of this. But, again, just wants to stay alive, not give the opponent too much. So looks like FaZe is going to be able to come out on top.
If you saw right there, FaZe never gave Scump an opportunity to take a one-on-one gunfight. There was always a second player challenging. And while that's about a minute of Scump staying alive, actually Clay does kill him in the end. And there you see the hype from Clayster. He is locked in and focused. As FaZe, they want this 2-0 series lead chance, but it's not going to be easy. Optic still have the round lead.
Gonna have to continue it now. It's been said in the past that once you get to 4 rounds in Search and Destroy, that's where things really get difficult if you're the team that is behind. So again, Optic Gaming still favored. Gotta win an offensive round though. Really put the stamp on it.
Scump 7-4. He's been carrying the objective for Optic Gaming all weekend in Search and Destroy. And here's your mini map. Look at what FaZe are doing. It is time for a change of pace. And there's going to be one player in the back ready for this for Optic Gaming. Does Crim expect this pressure? They haven't seen anything at B, so they've got to know something's up.
Well, Crim's going to spot at least one player. I'm not sure he's aware there's a player all the way in the back. Shots are going to go down. He's able to stay alive for just a moment. The player's going to challenge to Attach. Able to clean that one up. The 4-man flank is successful still, though, 2v4. And you see, yep, Clayster, he was waiting for the rotation the entire time. Saw both those players cross. And you can see he's waiting for those red arrows to come up with him. He's not challenging. He's doing the smart thing. His teammates are there. Gives his position away, but Attach cleans up one. The other's going to fall shortly after. Perfect Search and Destroy right there from the FaZe clan.
I've got to clap it up for that. That is one of the best rounds of defensive Search and Destroy I have seen on Retaliation. Optic played right into the hand of FaZe, and now we've got ourselves a tied game, folks. Going into round number 9, Optic Gaming, they've given up 3 in a row as they've got to regain their control on the map. Clayster with this overdrive, and folks, it is about to get juicy. Clayster wants to make the impact. Doesn't spot the first one there. Another player challenging as they'll back up. They see the light of that sniper scope and do not want to challenge at all.
That would be a pretty key giveaway. You can see, though, 2 players have pushed up over towards that flat area. So FaZe does have pretty good positioning as well for being on offense. Scump, though, again, it's going to be Zuma that falls as well. Formal, though, loses the gunfight to Attach from that close range. That also a little bit too good. And you can see exactly what Clayster's game plan is. Someone at some point will challenge Bedroom. He's going to be ready for it, or he's not going to be ready for it. Gets the worst possible timing. Attach, though, is able to pick up a kill.
2 versus 1. Clayster and Enable up against Karma. Karma going to check towards this low side. Hasn't been spotted. Doesn't make it a 1v1 as of yet. The player actually gets out with his life. It's a worst case scenario. 1-on-1 active camo gets used, though. Beautifully read by Enable. Those payload abilities coming into play in the end. We'll see it again from Enable's perspective. He gets out with his life. Reads it like a book. Karma did have rewind, but when you can't see the player, You don't know it's time to use it. 5-4. FaZe now 1 round away from going up 2-0.
And that's rough, too. He was a bullet away from being able to get that clutch. Either way, though, backs against the wall. Optic Gaming already down 1-0 in the series. Obviously, a must-win round. Looks like they're going back to B. So far, though, FaZe, they get aggressive by this B bomb side on defense, and they've seen quite a bit of success.
Already one payload used. That's going to be attached, getting out with his life for the moment. Crim6 with first blood. It's exactly what Optic Gaming need. And look, it's pushed FaZe back. This objective now opened on up. Do Optic Gaming read it correctly? They do. Scump will go ahead and plant it. He'll earn that reactive armor for this round if needed. Optic Gaming just need to play this one the way they know how to close this round on out. Formal, probably going to be the first one to get into engagement here as he's going to get called to the ceiling, but he needs help. 3v2 now.
Well, really, if you're Optic Gaming, you want this round win without burning any of those payloads as well. So you want the cleanest round you possibly can. Karma's able to pick up a kill, and it looks like it's just going to be that 1v3. FaZe was able to get one. It's going to get traded out for the second. So we're going to round 11. Could you ask for anything more? A 4-point game or something like that in the hard pointer. I think it was 12, actually. And now round 11 in the S&D. And again, you got to keep an eye on those payloads.
Vegas is waking up, folks in the venue. If you're ready for this round 11, make some noise. Oh boy, it's FaZe on offense. What do they try to do? Is there another trick up their sleeve? And oh no, this one's going to go quick. It's an overdrive right away from Clayster, and he's realizing Optic Gaming are here, and somehow 2 kills for FaZe. Crim answers with one of his own. Optic Gaming in the 2 versus 3. They're going to back on up. Karma will challenge. 2 versus 2. There's one player just on the other side. Crim6 gets the kill as well. It's a 1v2. Clayster by himself. He's pinned in the corner. One-on-one. Karma gets the kill. And look at Scump in the camera's face. Optic Gaming, no, the shot call works out. Woo-hoo-hoo! This rivalry makes me happy to be an American.
Oh, God, that poor cameraman. He just doesn't deserve it, man. Scump is getting hyped.
Do we have a wipe for that lens? I think he spit on it a little bit, or is that me?
And he's jacked, too. Like, you got a buff Scump flexing and screaming, getting excited, tying up this series at 1-1. And what a play at the end to finish it as well. The play call from FaZe, for a moment, worked beautifully. The aggression with the overdrive comes in. They get the first 2 kills, and Scump doesn't even get that kinetic off. Karma and Crim6, though, the 2v4 clutch. We saw quite a few clutches that game, and that's what matters most. We needed Crim6 to step up. He did exactly that, and again, Karma continuing his impressive performance on Championship Sunday.
This series so far living up to what we want to see, because you think of that hard point, one push, the difference for Optic Gaming winning and losing that map. FaZe take it by 12 seconds overall. Then in the Search and Destroy, 1 kill is the difference as FaZe drop that one 5-6. Optic Gaming clutch up, led by Scump's 9-7 2-plant performance. Oh, buckle in, folks. We've got ourselves a long series ahead. Up next is going to be Throwback Uplink. If we do get to that 5th map, it will be Scorch, Search, and Destroy. Breakout Hardpoint will be the second hardpoint in this game. Chance, I've got a smile on my face, my friend. This has been so much fun to cast.
Yeah, I'm just happy we're going to see a guaranteed another hard point.
Yes.
Again, that 250 to 238, as close as could possibly be. I want another barn burner like that.
Guys, I want to see how you're all watching at home. There's so many people here in the venue. Tweet out pictures. Use the hashtag MLGVegas. Spread the love. Tweet out the stream. Get people in here. It's FaZe versus Optic. 14 months since the last time this match has happened on the main stage. Chance, we have ourselves a tied series going into Uplink. Where do you see this one going from here?
Again, you have to predict it's just going to be a close game. I said it earlier. I think Optic Gaming has a slight edge, ever so slight. But again, that's the difference of a 1-point throw getting intercepted and just barely slipping through the cracks.
Oh, man, I don't even know where to call this, because I have seen both of these teams force the spawns out of their opponent on this map and absolutely slaughter them, especially when scoring on that back baseball side. Once they force them out towards that blue area, FaZe specifically earlier this weekend, Enable knows how to read this setup. He pushed all the way back towards Barn, let the opponents run to him, no overextension work, and FaZe scored dunk after dunk. Optic Gaming, though, coming into this, Uplink for me, it's the game mode that they won against E6 to really get themselves that series lead. I think they have what it takes in this one. Either way, as you mentioned, excited to see this second hard point, as we know it will go at least that far in the series, potentially a game 5 ahead.
So who are your players to watch them from either team? Because again, it's as close as could possibly. We've seen different players have different moments of highlights as well. So who do you have your eye on?
For me, it's Formal versus Clayster. Both of these guys actually in that first hard point were very quiet. If you remember, Clayster was like 8 and 15 off the break. Formal finishes 23 and 35. Two of the best ARs in the history of Call of Duty. Their impact not felt in that first hard point. Want to see it now brought out in this game number 3. It's going to be throwback uplink. And we saw Optic earlier this weekend, actually on this map too, with perfect one-point throws. They hit 5 inside number 1. They then dunked 3 times inside 2. Here we go, baby. Game number 3, uplink on throwback. FaZe Clan versus Optic Gaming. Christmas came early this time around. Finally, it is here. Chance, who are we watching off the break?
Either Formal or Clayster, you get a pick on this one. But again, that's the age-old question as well. Back even in Advanced Warfare, the debate was always who is the best AR in the game. And as you said, 14 months, we've had to wait to finally get our answer. We might be able to find out here. And it looks like kicking it off with Formal on uplink.
They're going to go ahead and push right on through this granny side. Yeah, crowd, you can get into it. It's game number 3, throwback uplink, first blood for Zuma, attached with one of his own as well, as already Optic Gaming are feeling the pressure.
Well, Optic Gaming, they do have the opportunity on this side to play a little bit passive and try to slow the game down as much as possible. Still though, FaZe, they are heating up. That's going to be nearly 4 down. It is going to be Scump this last one up, and he wins the necessary gunfight. So, again, aggressive so far coming from FaZe, but OG, nice little defensive stand.
Yeah, there was a team kill in there that actually backfired for FaZe as players stacked up in front of each other. A little miscommunication. As Optic Gaming will just push right out towards that bottom granny side, retake some control of the map. That's the key. You want bike path held for your team. That's what Optic tried to do, but FaZe do win the gunfights, and that will prompt Enable to fly right on up the map as he wants to be the one to lead this drone pressure. Attached now with the objective, going for the first potential point of the game.
Oh, got to get the beat down as well. Has a couple players in front of him, and he's not going to be able to get that off in time. Now, you get in a situation like that, you have a couple options. You can throw that drone just straight over Grandma's, get a one-point toss with like perfect coverage. You do run the risk of players being able to intercept the drone, though. So you see him trying to force the issue. However, it does not get any points. So again, 2 defensive stands we've seen from Optic Gaming. First time really we've seen him on the attack. Zuma's causing problems. Doesn't finish the gunfight in time, so he is going to get traded. Optic Gaming still putting pressure towards bowling.
And this is a sign from FaZe that they've studied up on this map. You can see they're trying to push through bowling, get control of bus. It's not working for them right now. Optic do botch the one-point throw, so no 1-0 lead. There's only one player here, which will be Formal, to try to convert this score, but with everybody from FaZe pinching in, not going to happen. So I did commend Optic Gaming on good throws earlier on this weekend. This time around, though, they missed their first opportunity.
Got to be able to do them from both sides. And again, if it's going to be a close game, every point obviously matters. Still, though, 3 minutes left. We got a lot of uplink to play. We can already see Scump so far is playing pretty aggressively in his opponent's space, but players spread all over this map, just trying to get some semblance of control. Scump's going to be able to pick up his 2nd kill on this streak. Going to have a player coming up to his side as well. Going to get the 3rd, and that's the clearance that Optic Gaming needs.
And they know where the final player is as well. Scump is trying to chase him down. Challenges, gets the kill. Double positive, 10 and 5, and they're looking for more. Optic Gaming now moving up with the drone. It's 2 more dead on FaZe. Make it 3. Crim6 with the dunk. Optic Gaming in the lead, and he's looking for more.
And this is a huge play from Crim. If he can just stay alive and cause problems, that's going to allow his teammates to push up all the way from mid-map, though Enable is going to be able to take him down. So going to be back to that 50-50 standoff, but nice early points coming from OG.
Love the setup by Optic because Crim stays alive, as you mentioned, Chance. Didn't let FaZe get that map control. So instead of FaZe looking for a counterplay, they're now having to fight for mid-map positioning, which is not ideal at all. Scump has pushed all the way through, and oh no! Turns and burns on the Clayster. There's more as well. 3 dead again for FaZe. Formal with the green light to grab the drone and go. They do actually drop it, so it's Scump by himself here. He's got some help coming from Karma. Still a score opportunity is possible. Karma with the help of one. They're trying to sneak it through, but Attach shoots right through 2 players to stop that pressure. Beautiful stuff from him.
Man, Scump is back, though. I'll tell you, 14 and 7. That OSA is a huge game changer going for him. Of course, on the flip side of things, we already know FaZe going to be pretty comfortable as well. Attach going to be rocking this drone. You see playing very passively. There's actually a player on the flank right now. Crim6 is behind. Quite a few. He's going to be able to clean up Attach. That drone, though, not going to get reset just yet.
I don't think they were ready for Crim to be that close on the flank. Thankfully for FaZe, the remaining players do stop the Optic Gaming push. Scump is a different player in respawn game modes when he can use that OSA. 15-8, leading the lobby by 4 kills in the slaying department, as he'll go ahead, rotate towards middle map as we're in our final minute of the first side of Uplink on throwback.
Well, FaZe right now has that mid-map control. Again, Optic Gaming, they can play passively, they can slow the pacing down. They're doing just that. They're able to pick up 2 kills as well. Attach just trade out Scump, and now you see those green arrows starting to push up towards mid-map. Again, just for some control.
So much strategy around this game mode. Beautiful stuff by Clay to call it out to Attach. He gets the help he needs, but again, Optic, this is what's been working for them so far this series. Every time there's some map positioning earned, it seems like someone gets the 2-piece they need for their team. This time around, though, Clayster and Attach trying to make this 2v3 push happen. They've now got their teammates off respawn. 20 seconds left. FaZe, they want to at least get 1 point before this side ends, but everybody that's lead blocking now dead. Optic Gaming look to get the stop as it's looking like we're going to go into the half with a 2-0 lead for the green wall.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. We got a couple players that are nearing their payloads. No one, though, anywhere near some streaks. So really the question now is just, no, not enough time to hit the 1 point toss. The question now is going to be whether or not that one dunk that Optic Gaming was able to get, if that's going to be enough to hold off FaZe going to this side. Because if you think about it, Optic Gaming had them, spawn trapped essentially at blue multiple times, just pinned down in the back of baseball field. They just could not convert many, many points.
On this map, many people regard it as more of an even map between the two sides, but I would say this weekend I've seen most points scored by the side FaZe is now attacking on. So this game not over at all. Maybe just finding a way to shut down Scump could be the difference in this map being a win or a loss for FaZe Clan. If you're just tuning in, Game 1 was decided by 12 seconds, which gave FaZe the win there. Game 2, 1 kill in round 11. Gave Optic Gaming the green light to take that victory. So close, so evenly matched, it's living up to the hype this series as FaZe do get 3 dead. Now they have to push up the map. Frobel just trying to buy time for his teammates to come off spawn, and I do think he's done just that.
Well, the pressure coming all around this bridge side of things. Scump's going to be underside. Able to pick up one. Clayster, though, there for the trade. And again, you talk about that passive play. Optic Gaming is continuing it. They just don't want to make any mistakes. No one's trying to get over-aggressive and do anything by themselves. No hero plays coming in. They're all just hanging around their base and doing whatever they can to win these gunfights. FaZe, though, looks like they're going to be on the aggression, 3 down in their favor.
And look, Karma knows he's got to get closer towards this bowling side. They need to put pressure on Bus. The first player challenges. He's trying to get the shots in with the help of his teammates. They do stop it for the moment. Has the final player been spotted? It's Zuma trying to go for the flank. All dead on FaZe. Optic hold. And FaZe remains scoreless after 6 minutes of gameplay.
Optic Gaming, this is what they love to do. Once they get this drone by Lemon, they all died in FaZe, apparently. So Crim6, though, is going to be able to pick up 2. He's going to get the 3rd as well. Zuma not able to get the trade. Crim might be able to do this all himself. Goes for the 1 point toss, gets it off, but not quite in the right direction. So no 1 point toss. He stayed alive, though, for a long time, and at least he's bought his team some time to push up. So that drone still in a hot spot. All the kills coming in. Karma's able to pick up 2, and that's going to be a dunk, all because of Crim6 picking up 3 and then missing a 1 point shot.
Grim with the play of the game right there, but don't get too excited, Optic fans. It's now FaZe who have finally cleared out middle. They're going to move up with this drone. Zuma with the objective in hand. Attach gets the first kill for his team. Zuma settles for the 1, though. Did not feel safe as Optic Gaming do take control of their base. They stop the bleeding. Not enough, in my opinion, for FaZe right there.
Yeah, that's a very big stop from Optic Gaming. Again, the 1 point toss does come in, but no big deal. Now, Optic, the clock is definitely going to be their best friend in this situation. Again, we've seen some passive play. Again, no one getting aggressive. They're all just hanging out, waiting for FaZe to push into them. They can take the advantageous gunfights, though. Zuma is able to pick up 1 while Enable goes on the fight, picks up 2, clean 4 down. This might be spawn trap.
And this is where the play comes in. FaZe are going to rush forward with this drone. They've got at least 1 dunk, and now the Optic Gaming lead could disappear right in front of our eyes. 30 seconds is all they need. 4 dead again on the green wall. FaZe have the setup they want, and they look to tie up this game or take the lead.
Oh, this is bad news all over it. Attach actually kind of let one player slip past him. He's going to panic punch as well. Still that drone in a precarious spot. He's going to be going for the 2 point play. Not going to connect. Crim coming up big once again, and Scump finishes that final kill on Enable, clearing out the base. So a little bit of greed coming in there, trying to force that 2 point play. It might come back to haunt them.
Crim is the hero of Optic Gaming on this map right now. Stops the score earlier on. gave them the ability to go for that dunk after the three-piece, and now with him having optic camo, that's not a thing, active camo, he'll go ahead and try to stay alive. Middle map, another base clear. 90 seconds remaining, 1 point the difference. Camo available for both teams, and chance from what we've seen this weekend, that could be the difference maker on a map win or loss.
Well, last time around, FaZe with a flank by Enable was able to pick up 2, and that kind of ruined the setup Optic had. Of course, this time, no one got sent on the flank, and Optic is able to clear out the side. So again, we're back to this 50-50 situation. Minute and 12 left to go. And again, those payloads are going to be ever important. Enable's got his as well.
Optic trying to hold on to this narrow lead, attach the furthest pushed up. Optic just trying to move the drone forward. FaZe need middle map pressure now more than ever. They do get a couple kills. 57 seconds left. Enable with the objective. He'll throw it up himself. As FaZe know they need bowling control, but Optic keeps shutting it down.
Again, that passive play, they're hanging back. The perfect strategy so far. Still, though, Glacier's going to be looking to capitalize. It's going to be a little bit sneaky. Let that drone go past, but Volkl doesn't care. Wins the gunfight. Zoom Enable coming out on top for the moment, but still, that drone is in a bad spot for FaZe. Time is not on their side, and they are not winning gunfights as much as they need to.
And because there's no map pressure from FaZe, everyone on Optic spawning where they want to, but you know what? Clayster says it's time to throw the audible. They go for the field push. Clayster still has overdrive. It's absolutely possible for them to still get a score. Opening kill there for Enable. He gets the two-piece. Crimsix trying to hold again. It's an overdrive push. 4 dead on Optic Gaming. FaZe begin to run. 9 seconds left. Do they go for the win? It can be the dunk. Oh my God! Oh my God! FaZe win it in the final moments.
Impressive stuff coming out of the Red Rebellion, or whatever their team name is. Impressive plays at the end. The overdrive coming in clutch. All 4 players on the map setting up for that push. And with 3 seconds left, that dunk comes in across. The boldest play they can make. Stop trying to push straight up mid-map. Let's go for the wrap. And it worked to a T.
I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath. The closest series I think I've ever casted. 12 seconds in hardpoint, 1 kill in search and destroy, and 1 point in uplink with 3 seconds left.
It's good Call of Duty.
If you're not entertained, I don't know what's wrong with you. FaZe take the lead, and we go back to another hardpoint, which is where FaZe got their first map win earlier on in this series. Wow. Wow. Remember, guys, this is the loser of this series gets eliminated.
Yes.
No words there, Chance.
Well, the winner is going to go to top 4. Obviously, it's an incredibly important matchup. 14 months coming. This is going to answer so many questions. And imagine the smack talk that's going to come after this, the bragging rights that each side is going to be fiending for the entire time. And again, hardpoint, 12-point game we saw the first time around. Personally, I hope Optic Gaming wins this because I want to see a Game 5. I would love nothing more than another Round 11 Game 5. It would be the perfect ending to the series that we've been wanting for so long. You just couldn't ask for more.
It would only be right. This series so far has not let us down at all. What are Optic players' thoughts right now? They had the lead. They were holding it for 9 minutes and 50 seconds on that map, and then they drop it in the end. So far, this series has been sick, but I know our analysts want to bring some things up. Maven, take it away.
I'm here with Looney. Okay, so I was actually late to get over the interview. The reason they were filling so long is because I was losing my mind to this matchup here. We saw the tail end of it. These games have been so close. Who's going to take this, man?
I think FaZe. I think FaZe is just like riding on this momentum. I mean, the S&D's last map was kind of a blind counter, which is pretty fun to watch. You know, Clay overdrove. It's just unfortunate they lost that last 1v1. But them clutching up this uplink and winning that first hardpoint, I think they're feeling nice, and they're going to clutch it up on this hardpoint.
Well, what's interesting is to think about the fact that if you're Optic, you may have a chance to take this, and it's going to come down to search and destroy. When you're thinking back to Black Ops 3 at Champs, where they couldn't buy an S&D win, that's sort of been their bread and butter down the stretch here today. But you think it's going to close in the hard point. What is it about this FaZe team that's made them so strong?
Just their new mindset coming into this game. You know, they had a disappointing Black Ops 3 year. They came out, they didn't care if like Envy or Optic weren't at PSX. They just wanted to win, get back to being the top, and they're here to win. And they have that like confidence against Optic. We've never lost home on land, so I think they're really here to prove that they're one of the best teams in the world again.
Yeah, it was something like 455 days since they last played. They're 4-0 against Optic with these rosters. They continue to shut down the green wall, but it's not over yet. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your series here first, though. You're going to be going up against Cloud9 in the winners bracket final. How you feeling going into this? How do you feel about the particular matchup with Cloud9?
I think my 3 teammates, new teammates, they played him at champs, and apparently Yuli had the series of his life against Cloud9. So I know Cloud9's looking for revenge on them 3 players. So we just had to play our game. I know Cloud9's just been straight winning Game 5. So we got, like I said last night, we have to close them out early. Don't let it get to Game 5. Don't let that X factor in Game 5 come to play.
All right, man. Well, good luck as you get in the winners bracket final. Already guaranteed top 3, but it's back to FaZe and Optic. Let's get back to the desk. Ben, take it away.
Thanks very much, Maven. Wow, what a series so far. We said we were excited for it. Hasn't disappointed so far. First thing I want to mention, I feel like I'm watching Scump from 2013. It seems like a different player, a player that we haven't really seen in the past couple of years. Very, very energetic. He's getting up. I mean, looks at the camera, FaZe up after the map too. I mean, where has this Seth been hiding?
I just don't think he was very confident in himself the past few days of the tournament, and then he comes out today. He sort of learned what he needed to do last night, and he's turned it around today.
Okay. Teep, I mean, how do you stop a player like that? I mean, you've teamed with him, obviously, you know all too well as well yourself, but how do you put a stop to a player who's just being that explosive?
It's really just weathering the storm, to be honest, and FaZe is doing a great job of doing that. You know, all these game types have been back and forth battles, brute force battles on the strong side of the map, and FaZe just needs that one play, wait for their opportune situation, and take complete advantage of it.
We go all the way back to map number 1 of the series. It was FaZe in full control of the hard point, and then all of a sudden we kind of all looked at each other and we went, oh, hold on. Optics, they're starting to make a little bit of a comeback here, Mark. What went wrong with that comeback? Because it looked for a minute as if they may actually do it.
I mean, FaZe just got together. I mean, so when you're sort of in those situations, you sort of freak yourself out sometimes. Maybe people don't group up. You know, you're just like, crap, we could blow this lead. Right. But they were just disciplined. They got together on that blue side of that baseball field hill, and they were able to put those kills together, and that's just what you have to do. And
then talking a little bit about the search and destroy, of course, Optic, they bounced back in that one, TP. What were some of the key moments for you in that one?
I just want to talk about that round 11.
Round 11? Okay, I figured that's where you wanted to go.
Really the balls on these guys. That play call, round 11, just to overdrive up that A street, and the fact that Clay was able to get that first kill. They follow up with another, but they don't watch that wall run. Whatever player